Coaxial Sports High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight it's a showdown in the Mid-State League Buckeye Division. We're in Fairfield County for the annual war between Canal Winchester and Bloom Carroll. The Indians and the Bulldogs wrap up a doubleheader weekend next here on Coaxial Sports.
The Bulldogs are led onto the field by senior commanders Katie Doug.
Every day is fall festivo.
Cantina del Rio, Cantina del Rio.
Come and enjoy tantalizing quesadillas, frosty drinks, and our new beef chimichangas and roasted vegetable burritos. Now only $6.99 each.
Tastes great and less pesos, Cantina del Rio.
A 2-year technical degree from Columbus State prepares you for immediate employment.
The instructors that I'm learning from at Columbus State are more hands-on training versus an instructor just teaching out of a textbook.
It goes way beyond the textbook. It goes way beyond the classroom, and the student is actually brought into the real world through real experience.
For an affordable technical or transfer education,
Columbus State, the agriculture line.
And tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Cantina del Rio Mexican Restaurants. We're at Bloom Carroll High School tonight for the showdown in the Mid-State League between the Indians and the Bulldogs. Hi, everybody. I'm Randy Reinhardt along with Tom McDonald. And Tom, what a weekend. 2 games for the price of none here on Coaxial Sports. Earlier this weekend, Licking Heights and New Albany stay in the Mid-State League for the showdown between Canal Winchester and Bloom Carroll. You look at the Indians on this season under Mike Yonnotti, 4-2, and they have a very good quarterback in Chris Heston.
Excellent football team, Randy, and the thing I like about Chris Heston is that he's really the backbone of their offense. First of all, he's a 2.5-year starter. The thing I can see is passing is very much improved over the 2.5 years. He squares his shoulders and delivers the ball very well. Earlier this season, we saw the Indians against the team from Circleville, and what a game by Kevin Carpenter, though. In that game, he had a touchdown, an extra point, and a field goal to lead the Indians to a 10-0 victory. Meanwhile, for Bloom Carroll, they have struggled this season under head coach Rick Schaffner. They are 0-6, and quite honestly, if they can get something going on offense, it has to start with their quarterback, another guy by the name of Chris. This is Chris Woodcraft. Right, and Chris Woodcraft's talents are really untapped. He's a young kid, hasn't played much, but I noticed in warm-ups they have a diversified offense to try to fit his talents, and they're going to throw the ball a lot tonight. They have nothing to lose, Tom. We've talked about these games in the past. It's the Army and Navy of the East Side, but so much on the line for Canal Winchester. They have a chance at a playoff spot. The Bulldogs can do anything they want to tonight. They're free and easy at 0-6. You're right. All the pressure's on Canal Winchester tonight. Bloom Carroll can let it all out. I really have nothing to lose, like you said, and I look for, because of that reason, them to be a lot more relaxed. And of course, it's a backyard rivalry. Anything can happen when you're playing against the most hated team on your schedule. Blustery would be an understatement to describe the weather conditions tonight here at Bloom Carroll. We'll touch on those and more when we get ready for the kickoff between the Indians and the Bulldogs. Back with more here on Coaxial Sports right after this. Stay tuned.
Friends, General Motors has just paid to us over $110,000 worth of model year-end rebates. And because of these rebates, you can buy a brand new 95 Geo Metro for as low as $69.99 or drive it home for only $129 a month. A new 95 Geo Prism, including air conditioning, only $158 a month. Special 3.9% fixed rate financing this weekend. Don't miss out. Brand new 95s as low as $69.99 at Bill Swad Chevy Geo.
Know what? If you run a business, here's what you can do with everything that's taking up valuable office space. Stuff it. That's right, stuff our floors instead of yours. Know what you can do with everything that's taking up storage space in your apartment? Stuff it. That's right, stuff our closets instead of yours.
And tonight's game is brought to you by Cantina del Rio Mexican Restaurants and by Columbus State Community College. Welcome back for week number 7, high school football action between Canal Winchester and Bloom Carroll. The Bulldogs won the toss and deferred. The Indians will receive on your left. So Bloom Carroll ready to start this contest, going from right to left, and there's the kick. And the Indians will fall on the ball at the 26-yard line to start out this contest, 1st and 10. Take a look at the starters on offense right now in this contest for Canal Winchester. It'll be Caudill at a tight end with Taylor, Hager, Thompson, Folden, and Roman up front. Beller, the split end. Heston, the quarterback that we talked about in the open. Vance, the fullback. Carpenter, a halfback. And Chris Dean on the wing in this contest tonight for Canal Winchester. First down and 10. And a handoff inside and a good play defensively by Bloom Carroll. Short gain on the play for the Indians as we check the defense now for Bloom Carroll in this contest. Richardson, Stortz, Henthorne, Miller, Atkinson, and Lawless up front. And they'll play a 6-man line. Linebackers are Taylor, Snoke, and Horn. Fry and Campbell in the secondary tonight as they try to really stuff it at the line of scrimmage, Tom McDonald. They're trying to force the Indians to put the ball in the air. When you're 0-6, as we said, you try to stop one face, that offense of Canal Winchester, and they're going to try to stop the run tonight. We'll see if that is effective to go with, in essence, 3 inside linebackers in this contest.
All right, they better stop the penalties, too, first of all, because they jumped offside on that one, giving Canal Winchester a nice break there. They had held them very well on that first play. However, an extra 5 is going to put it second and short.
And we talked about the records for these two teams as well in this contest tonight.
Yes, we did.
The fact that you're looking at a team in Canal Winchester 4-2 with a chance of the playoffs, currently in 3rd place in their region in points in Division 5, Region 20. It'll be second down, and we'll call it just about 5. Handoff goes to Carpenter. Carpenter with nothing there.
That's right, Randy. And on the stop, number 53 it was for Bloom Carroll. He's doing a nice job. That's Greg Stortz, the senior. And it sets up a 3rd and short. You'll see the isolation playing. Carpenter, of course, is their main ball carrier. And Stortz says, nothing doing. You're mine. And on that play he was. And, of course, with the penalty, it would have been, without the penalty, it would have been 3rd and long, but now it's 3rd and short.
And the ball indicator on the scoreboard doesn't work, so we're off to a great start here at Bloom Carroll High School. It'll be 3rd down. We'll call it 3 early in this contest. Pitch outside. Indians trying to get the first down. They've got it and more. On the carry is Balzer, and Balzer out across midfield, and we'll have the first down with 10:21 left to go in the first quarter.
Right. What Canal Winchester did on that play, Randy, was, and something they hadn't done in their previous game that we saw them against Circleville, is they moved their formation, shifted at the end. They outbalanced Bloom Carroll on that and quick pitched it, and there goes Balzer for a nice gain and the initial first down.
He's got great speed. We saw that earlier this season, that contest with Circleville, and a guy that moved in from the Groveport area. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Indians. They're going to mark it officially right at midfield for Chris Heston and the offense of the Indians. Splitting out wide now to the bottom of the formation is Channing Beller. Twins, in fact, at the bottom of the formation. A whistle and a flag stopping play with 10:21 left here in quarter number 1.
Looks like another offside penalty for Bloom Carroll. If it is, that'd be their second one in about 4 plays. They certainly, being the underdog, cannot afford to make mistakes like that.
And encroachment is the call on the defense, a 5-yard penalty, so we'll mark it into Bulldog territory down to the 46-yard line. So on a 1st and 5 situation here, the Indians are moving right now. Do you think about putting it up, or do you keep it on the ground?
Well, I think this is a methodical drive, and they've been aided, of course, by the flags, but basically I think they just keep it right where it is.
1st and 5 now from the 46, 10:21 left to go. It'll be Carpenter. Kevin across the 40, 35, Carpenter 30, 25, spins, twirls all the way down to the 23-yard line. What a run by Kevin Carpenter.
Sure was, Randy. Actually, it was defensed pretty well in the beginning. Jason Folden made a nice kick-out block, the guard, and then Carpenter ran right behind that. But what happens here is Carpenter has the presence of mind to cut all the way back across the grain and pick up a couple extra blockers and then just outrun most of the defenders. If it wasn't for number 1 there, Eric Fry, it might have been a touchdown.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs. Mark the ball around the 23-yard line. That is Balzer in motion. He gets the pitch, trying to take it around the left side, cuts it in across the 20. Down close to the 17-yard line with 9:45 left to go first quarter.
Nice job of executing the sweep from to the motion man. Big Mike Long, number 75, the lead blocker at 6'1", 150. He's doing a nice job. You'll see him on the play. Also a nice block by Carpenter.
And Heston gets into the action as well.
Not afraid to throw his face in there either. No, unselfish team play.
We'll call it a gain of 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5. Mark it at the 17-yard line. Again, Canal Winchester with the 3 backs in the backfield. That power formation the Indians use year in and year out. Handoff around the left side goes to number 34, and that is Chris Dean. And Dean will take it all the way in for the touchdown. 9:10 left to go. Reminiscent of a Mid-State League game we saw earlier this weekend. A quick touchdown, and already it is 6-0 Indians.
Nice run, nice run. Great block, Kyle Patrick this time. Of course, Kyle, once the ball carries past you, you can stop blocking, but great effort. And you're right, initially we have the first one drive, one touchdown.
So Dean will take it in from 17 yards out for the score, and we stand at 6-0. It's extra point time right now for Canal Winchester, and Eric Brunney will do the honors. Remember when we had this game earlier this season, actually when they were taking on Circleville, we saw Mr. Carpenter doing all the kicking duties because Brunney was out with an injury at that particular time. He had a pulled thigh muscle. But he is back right now. Twiss to hold to attempt the 7th point. The snap, the kick is up, and the kick is good. And so with 9:10 left to go, quickly the Indians on top by a score of 7-0. The worst case scenario for Bulldog fans in this contest tonight.
You're right. It's certainly not the way Bloom Carroll had hoped to start this game off. And when you think about it, the offside penalties, as much as anything, hurt him. I thought Bloom Carroll defense Canal Winchester's first couple plays very well, but that 5 yards gave him that initial first down. And then once you let Carpenter run in the open and with the variety of backs that Canal Winchester has this year, it's going to be tough. You know, you're going to have to almost play an error-free football game if you're Bloom Carroll, if you expect to compete tonight.
That drive was 6 plays, 74 yards, took 2:46 off the clock. Dean from 17 yards. Brunney with the PAT. We stand now at 7-0 in this contest. Canal Winchester again 4-2, resetting the scene 2-1 in the Mid-State League Buckeye Division. Bloom Carroll at 0-6 and 0-3 in league competition. Canal Winchester coming off a tough loss 8 days ago at the hands of Amanda Clear Creek by a final score of 19-14. And Bloom Carroll, despite their winless mark on the season, being shut out for their first time last week at the hands of Fairfield Union by a score of 35-0. In fact, in that contest, they forced 4 turnovers from Fairfield Union, but
couldn't capitalize,
could not come up with a touchdown. In fact, as we said, that was the only game this year of the 6, even though they've lost 6, that they've been held scoreless. So it's kickoff time right now in this contest, and Corey Hinton to do the honors now for the Indians, up by a score of 7-0 already. And that one will go way out of bounds. Exit stage left.
You're right, excellent field position for Bloom Carroll. See if they can get that offense untracked.
And they'll have the ball out around the 35-yard line. And we'll check their offense. For the Bulldogs, up front, Spencer, Jennings, Roberts, Taylor, Miller, Waltz, and Lott split in. And you can see Whitcraft with Lawless, Becker, and Fry. Fry and Lott did a good job at wideout, but they've lost a couple of players. One, their leading receiver this season, to injury. In fact, they had 2 players they lost because of neck injuries. Actually, there were neck problems. They were hereditary and no longer can play football. Whitcraft going back on first down. The pass is caught. Nice catch at the 46.5-yard line in Indians territory by number 23 on the play, and that is Zach Becker.
Oh, that kind of wakes up the crowd here at Bloom Carroll.
Good catch, Zach Becker.
As you check the defense now for the Indians with Taylor, Thompson, Hay, and Speakman up front. Linebackers, Carpenter, Patrick, Vance, and Caudill. What a quartet they are with Beller, Twiss, and Balzer in the secondary. It'll be 1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs from the Indians' 47-yard line. 8:53 left to go. Handoff goes to number 22 on the play. That is Mascari.
Nice chunk of change, Randy.
Or was that Becker on the play? We'll have to wait and see. Becker on the
counter play, right.
So Becker with 2 nice plays in the first 2 plays that the Bulldogs have the football, and he'll advance the ball down across the 40 to the 39-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 3. Becker coming into this contest with just 9 carries, Tom McDonald. 5 yards on the season.
He's a senior playing hard tonight.
2nd and 3 now from the 39. 8:21 left to go. Bulldogs down by 3. Whitcraft looking downfield. He's got a man wide open. The pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands of number 88, the tight end, Jeff Spencer.
Well-designed play, the boot pass. Quarterback rolled out. You're right, the tight end was there in the same and just failed to connect. But there's been 2 passes now for Bloom Carroll. In each case, quarterback has had time to throw the football.
Spencer has a touchdown this season. It was 81 yards on a fumble return. That was against Tays Valley. So it'll be 3rd down now and 3 from the 39. 8:15 left to go. It'll be Becker down to the 36-yard line, close to the 35. And from this vantage point, Tom McDonald, he's got enough for the first down, it looks like.
I think he does. Just a straight dive. Nice line surge. Ryan Brown, among others, was leading the way. Looks like a pretty good double team block there. And also, I believe number 56, Adam Dunn, was in there. That was Brian Jennings.
Very young team, especially in the offensive line for Bloom Carroll. And quite honestly, too, at 0-6 on the season, you can afford to play some of the younger guys.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. With Fry wide of the top of the formation, and it is Lott wide of the bottom. Whitcraft looking downfield, and the pass is
nice catch
at the 25-yard line. Spencer trying to make amends.
And Twiss was all over him, but basically this is the same play that was wide open a couple plays ago. It sure isn't on this one. You'll see the rollout pass. Whitcraft has to square his shoulders and deliver a perfect strike. And there the big man is with a great catch.
Well, I'm impressed by the arm of Whitcraft early in this contest. And good routes run by the Bulldog receivers. 1st and 10, mark the ball at the 25-yard line. 7:41 left to go. Bloom Carroll down 7-0. Whitcraft looking for more downfield. The pass is incomplete, a little too tall for Lott.
Good play action, however, Randy. They're really mixing the ball up. It was an excellent ball fake. I do feel, however, that Bloom Carroll is going to have to play into Canal Winchester's strength, which is their secondary and linebackers, if they're going to be throwing the ball a lot tonight.
A lot or 2 lot?
Oh, 2 lot. Yeah, both.
Second down and 10.
Look at this formation.
That's an interesting set.
You're right.
With Fry to the top. Whitcraft will hand it off. On the carry is number 30. That is Nathan Lawless. And Lawless was a nice gain on the play. And that's the thing with the Bulldogs. They're going to try to be unpredictable tonight. That's the one thing we talked about in the open. They have nothing to lose right now, so they're just looking for any play that'll work.
Are you sure this team is 0-6? You'll see it was a kind of a tricky split where they just barely split out the tight end, put a man in the slot. That gave him the extra man at the point of attack, and Lawless did the rest. First down on the move.
On the season, he had 35 carries for 130 yards.
Same formation to the left this time. Let's see if they try the same thing.
Lawless has it again.
Yep, nice cut
Keeps
back.
his balance. Still driving and churning inside the 10-yard line.
Wow.
Put his right hand down and kept his balance.
Yeah, you don't see that too often in the high school level.
Not from your fullback too often.
No, Brown again. Oh, how about this? We have a quick play. Looks like
they have a no-huddle offense they can use, and they'll do it here on a second down situation. Whitcraft. Again to Lawless around the right side. Looking to get that first down. Trying to advance the ball near the 5-yard line. It'll be a third down situation with 6:36 left to go in quarter number 1.
Not so much in that play, but the play before, Ryan Brown, a 5'3", 9th grader, was one of the lead blockers.
So it'll be a third down situation, and they're going to mark it back at around the 7-yard line, actually closer to the 8, so we'll make it third down and 3 with 6:14 left to go.
Actually,
the Bulldogs burn a timeout, and they do.
Heck, they have 2 67s listed. Randy, help me out there, buddy.
Yes, they do. That would be Derek Roberts, 5'9", 146, and a senior.
Well, that explains
it. Not the Ryan Brown you were talking about. He is a senior.
Senior. Yep. I wondered how a freshman could be in there. Yeah, let's give credit to that man, Derek Roberts.
He's doing a good job in the offensive line at left guard, likes sports and math, and that's the thing. You'll check the roster. You'll see multiple numbers.
Sure.
In fact, a couple numbers have triplicate, but
which I don't understand.
Weave you
when
through
you
that. There you see head coach Mike
numbers.
Yonnotti at the 32-yard line with the headsets on there. In his 4th year, what a job he has done with that program for the Indians. A record of 24-12. So we said 4-2 right now. They're in Division 5. They're ranked 3rd in their division in computer points. And of course, the top 4 make it to the playoffs. The only bad news here for Canal Winchester is even with a win, you would assume they're not going to pick up a whole lot of points with Bloom Carroll with a mark of 0-6 in this contest.
Right, well, at least not this week, but if Bloom Carroll continues to play like they have so far on offense tonight, they're going to pick up a few wins, whether it be tonight or down the road.
3rd and 3 from the 8, Whitcraft.
Oh, they fumbled the ball, I think.
But he got it back, and he falls down right near the line of scrimmage.
Back he did.
Falling on top of him was number 54, Shea Hay.
Yeah, Hay's an outstanding player that's been around, knows the ropes. Now this is the first very critical call for Bloom Carroll, 4th down.
Hay, a 2-year starter at defensive tackle. And you would think at 0-6 and a 4th down and 4, they're going to mark it closer now to the 9, that they will go for it, and they do. Lawless, alone back directly behind Whitcraft. Whitcraft looking. Pass is complete to Becker.
That's the good news.
The bad news is he does not get down to the 5-yard line, and he'll be short, and the Indians will take over on downs.
Right, there's a flood route with 3 receivers to the left. And the pass was there. However, it was well defensed because you can bend and not break on 4th down. They had to get the 1st down. There's Carpenter all over the receiver, stopping him well short of that 1st down. And over goes the football.
So the Indians will take over 1st and 93 from their 7-yard line with 5:33 and ticking. First quarter already up by a score of 7-0. Early touchdown run in this contest by Dean from 17 yards out. Brunney added the PAT. That's where we stand right now in this game. Heston. Gives it to Carpenter. And Kevin takes it around the left side. You know, the thing I like about Kevin Carpenter, too, is as a sophomore he was playing Tom McDonald, and he was fearless. And as a junior, he seems even more aggressive out there. You would think as a sophomore you'd be a little concerned about your health and not knowing the game. But Canal Winchester seems to pride itself on having these young players that can come out and contribute immediately. Of course, as a Division 5 or 6 school, you really have to.
There's a lot of things to like about Kevin Carpenter. That time they outflanked it with an unbalanced wing.
Second down, the pitch goes to Carpenter again. Nice gain for Carpenter, and he is out across the 20-yard line, and he's got the 1st down.
Yes, indeed. A nice run on the quick pitch. Adam Sark on the hit. That's a name that's familiar, too.
Of course, his brother Jason played here at Bloom Carroll High School. The Indians, though, have the 1st down.
Play he did.
4:35 left to go. A number of brother combinations we'll touch on throughout the night. One for the Indians as well, the Twiss brothers.
Yes. His older brother Adam just got married.
Yes, and is a coach in the Reynoldsburg school system.
Ooh, tough one for them last night.
Losing by 1 to Pickerington in overtime. This is Carpenter. The short gain on the play off the left side.
That's right, pretty well snuffed out by the interior of that Bloom Carroll front. Troy Taylor probably was the main clog. Anyway, the misdirection doesn't seem to be as effective as the straight ahead hitters or the outside quick pitches for Canal tonight.
Move the ball up to the 28-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7 with 3:55 left to go. The Indians with the ball on top by a score of 7-0. Taylor, an interesting story we'll touch on for the Bulldogs here in just a moment. Heston brings them up. Bulldogs showing blitz. Are they coming? Are they faking? They are coming.
Trap.
And they nail the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. It is Carpenter on the carry.
That's right, the old trap play, and once again, well defensed by Bloom Carroll. 53 Storts and 55 Taylor were in on the hit. And we have a 3rd and long. We just may see the first pass of the night for the Indians.
Taylor, an inside linebacker, starting in his first game this season. He was ineligible until this point in time, and he will see time both as an inside linebacker and a center in this contest. We'll call it 3rd down, and just about 7 now for the Indians. And Heston, you are correct, Tom, is going to look downfield and throw, and the pass is incomplete as he overthrows Channing Beller at around the 43-yard line.
Well, Beller was in 1st down range, so had they been able to connect, it would have moved the chains, but it was pretty well defense. And, you know, the strong safety was flying out to the flat and forced Hinton to throw the ball over the receiver's head.
So it's a punting situation. I'm about ready to open this window here. I don't think it's that bad outside.
I don't either, but
you
what's
cannot
with
see
this
through
light
this
here? This is a standing room
Yellow
only
lights.
press box.
It's right? Interesting evening. The technical snafus have been overcome by the entire coaxial crew, and we're having a great time in this contest with 3:06 left to go first quarter, and Twiss ready to punt. Lost the handle. The rush is not heavy. He gets it up and will hit it around the 49-yard line and take a Bulldog bounce back across the 45 all the way down to the 41-yard line. So Bloom Carroll will have excellent field position.
That's right.
After that punt that netted just 13 yards.
Right, there was a little pressure and the snap was a little low, so really maybe Canal Winchester could feel fortunate just even to get this punt away. Good job here of Twiss not going to his knee. Had he done so, the ball would have been placed right there. Anyway, he did have to hustle to kick a bit and didn't hit it.
I'm joining you down here, Tom, to look out the window.
Oh, hi, Randy.
So
nice.
I can watch this game for a change here. Handoff inside goes to number 23 Becker, and there is nothing there for him. He'll pick up maybe a yard on the play down to the 40.
You're right. That right side of the defensive front, especially led by Riddle. Or I'm sorry, Shea Hay, I think, was the main man now that I look at it.
Hay doing
just
a great
low and
job.
tough.
Yeah, the entire defensive front, though, for the Indians been consistent all year. The entire defense has played very, very well. You think about their 2 losses to 5 points to Amanda, they're undefeated, and to Reedy by 3 points, and they're also undefeated. Woodcraft looking downfield. The pass is incomplete. It was a dangerous pass, I think, intended for Becker on a little pass out in the flat, but there was probably at least 4 defenders there for the Indians on a 3rd down and 9 now it will be with 2:06 left to go in the quarter.
Right, Bloom Carroll put their formation, their two receivers into the sideline, tried to boot out. Matt Caudill, number 84, put pressure on the quarterback and forced Whitcraft to throw the ball early.
Coming up from his outside linebacker slot, he's 6'2", 190 and a senior. 3rd down and 9 will mark the ball at the 40-yard line. Whitcraft with a quick pop over the middle. The pass is complete. It goes to Spencer, the tight end, and he is down near the sticks at around the 32-yard line. Let's see where they mark that.
You could say decision time, but really it's obvious they're going to go for it here. It was a great read. Canal Winchester blitzed their linebacker and left that vacancy right over the middle. Whitcraft was able to realize that, put the ball right on the money. A nice play.
So it's 4th down and 1, and obviously the Bulldogs will go for it down by 7 with an 0-6 record, nothing to lose. 1:34 left to go here on the sneak.
No.
Whitcraft going for it. He needed a yard, and I think he might have lost one on the play, and the Indians will bend, but they will not break one more time.
I'll say once again, that's just a great defensive stand by Canal Winchester. You couldn't really single out any one person, but if you had to, Wes Speakman was one of them. He was low and tough from that defensive end, and boy, a huge stop.
6'2", 170, and a senior. So the Indians will take over with 1:28 left to go. First quarter up by 7, and they will have the ball at the 32-yard line. Am I blocking your view when I look at it?
No, not at all. I'm sure Coach Yonnotti would like to get this game where it's out of reach in a hurry. And that went a long way to doing that. But Bloom Carroll's played very well on offense.
Heston will pitch to Carpenter. Kevin across the 35, 40. Carpenter still on his feet. Midfield. Carpenter 45, 40. Along the far sidelines across the 35, the 30, and all the way down to around the 27-yard line is Kevin Carpenter with 1:01 left to go in the quarter.
What a difference a play makes. We'll give the coaching staff the credit for about the first 15 yards by outflanking Bloom Carroll's defense, and then Carpenter does the rest. You'll see there's absolutely nobody in the picture for Bloom Carroll until he gets to right about here. And there's a couple nice blocks, but that move to the outside is amazing. And I think Carpenter was even going to try to cut it back again. As he does so, he's popped pretty good. I think the man making the tackle may have been Atkinson.
1st and 10 from the 27, 47 seconds left in the quarter. Handoff is going to go around the right side, and twisting and turning is Balzer, and there is nothing there. Look at that, Tom. 5 Bulldogs at the corner.
That's the way it's designed. Force them to the outside, make them go east and west and not north and south. And you're right, Eric Fry and Quentin Horn were in on the tackle. You'll see there was a little slippage at first for Balzer, and that slowed up the play. And here they are, bounce it to the outside, bounce it to the outside, bounce it to the outside, and there.
Bounce your face into the turf.
You're right.
It'll be 2nd down and 12. 13 seconds left in the quarter. Will they get off one more play? Talk about the field conditions a little later on in this contest. We promised we would. Top of formation now is Hinton.
Better send someone with a motion man.
Heston looking. He's got a man short, and the pass is incomplete. He was open. You're right, Tom. They never sent anybody over to cover number 34, Chris Dean.
No, what they must have chosen to do then is to put the pressure on, and that pressure it was. Chris Snoke.
And that will end the first quarter of play. 12 minutes in the books, and the Indians on top by a score of 7-0. Back with more from the Coaxial Sports Game of the Week right after this. Stay tuned.
Columbus State is the way to a better future for all types of students.
Balancing my family, my job, and school has been tough, but it's been a lot easier with the flexibility of scheduling that they have here.
It's exciting to see those students because you really can tell they're here because they want to be here, they want to learn, they want to be successful.
For a single course or a whole new career, Columbus State is the affordable choice.
Columbus State, the adventure life.
Hey, Buckeyes, if you're like me, few things in life are as enjoyable as tailgating in your conversion van. And the only place to accessorize your van or pickup is here at Fun Trail Vans, 3966 Indianola Avenue. Here in the showroom, you'll find everything: custom video equipment, musical beverage coolers, alarm systems, and truck caps. Here's a Fun Trail tip. Ensure even wear of your van seats by having them rotated once a year. Call Fun Trail today. Ask about a conversion tune-up special.
Welcome back to Bloom Carroll High School. The Bulldogs trailing the Indians 7-0 as we head to the second stanza. Randy Reinhardt along with Tom McDonald. Our statistician tonight is Steve Bassford, and down along the sideline, Jonathan Cockrell with reports slated throughout this contest. And don't forget, by the way, at the half, we'll take a peek at both high school marching bands and take a look at all the events that surround high school football and talk about what happened last night. As we're actually taping a game for a rare Saturday night contest, we'll talk about the action that took place last night in high school football and some great games. You kind of touched on one of them earlier with Pickerington and Reynoldsburg. What happened in that contest?
Yes, that was a shocker. I mean, that must have been a heck of a battle going into overtime and all. Have to give credit to Pickerington, who eked out that 1-point victory.
3rd down and 12 now for the Indians. Dean on the wing to the bottom. Heston looking downfield. He's got a man long, and the pass is broken up, but there's a flag on the play.
Couple
Defending
flags.
was Ryan Campbell, and we've got 2 flags, one at the 11, one at the 12.
First of all, I was shocked on the defense. It was 3rd and 13 or 12, and there was not a man deeper than 7 yards in the backfield secondary of Bloom Carroll. What happened is 2 defenders got behind the corner. I thought he made a nice job of adjusting to the football, but
they call pass
2
interference.
people disagree.
Yeah,
yes.
the Bulldogs. Your officials for tonight, your referee is Todd D. Baird. The umpire is Chris Leiter. The linesman is Wilbur Lanier. The line judge is Mike Reinhardt, no relation. The back judge is Jeff Irwin. Take a look.
Okay, look at this camera work. Great play action. Heston squares his shoulders, throws the ball, and that's pretty darn good defense.
I thought he had position.
He sure did.
He looked like the receiver on that play, actually.
Right.
11:53 left to go in the first half. 7-0. Indians will keep the drive alive thanks to that penalty.
Oh, yeah, and that's a tough one coming on 3rd and 12. Would have forced a long field goal attempt, or probably a punt.
And we'll mark the ball down around the 12-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 from there. 7 seconds into the second quarter. Speaking of 7, that's what the Indians would like to get 7 more of. They already have 7.
They already have 7 what?
Points.
Oh.
We're not keeping you awake, are we?
I thought you meant the Cleveland Indians.
Spinning and twirling on the carry is number 35, Kyle Patrick. I don't want to talk about the Indians after what happened Friday night.
Yes, that's right. We're divorcing ourselves from them. Jeff Spencer on the hit, number 88. But
that's the diversity, though, Tom, that you can see offensively from the Indians, too. You can have a guy like Vance running the ball, or even Heston, the quarterback, Patrick,
right.
Carpenter, Balzer, Dean, Beller.
A defense would be very pressured when you go against Canal Winchester. They have so many weapons and such variety. And really, it starts with that offensive line, too. They're very solid there. Several veterans.
2nd and 6 now from the 8-yard line. Heston. Taking around the right side is number 35, Patrick.
And once again, good defense on the part of Bloom Carroll. We're going to see another 3rd down situation. Patrick was swarmed under over there.
And he'll advance the ball down for a short gain on the play, as we'll mark it down close to the 6.5-yard line. Actually, make it closer to the 7, so we'll call it 3rd and 5 with 10:48 left to go here in the first half. If you're the Indians, do you put it up?
I think not. You're in 4-down territory. Of course, you could also use the field goal.
Beller now will flank out wide at the bottom of the formation. Heston.
Yep.
Rolling, looking for a man. And the pass is tipped, and it will fall incomplete.
Right, that's a danger throwing down there. And now it's going to be an interesting decision on 4th and 5. What do? You put yourself where you're either going to have to kick a field goal, which would probably be the more likely scenario, or maybe even go for it. You'll see this is a boot pass, one of the favorite ones out of the wing T formation. The fullback's coming in the flat. The halfback's actually coming in the flat, and the ball is tipped. With
by Spencer.
Yeah, Spencer's played well tonight. 10th grader as well.
With a big paw on the football there. So it's a 4th down. Well, we know the Indians have at least three field goal kickers. Which one will it be out there this day?
I don't know. They've done a lot of talking in that huddle. I'd be a little cautious for the fake.
It is Brunney attempting a 24-yard field goal. The snap,
nice
plenty
kick.
of leg. The kick is up, and the kick is no good wide right.
No,
so
but nice distance and form, huh?
Dodge a bullet. Now, if you're Bloom Carroll offensively right now, you really want to look back at the first quarter and say we did a lot of things right, but maybe you want to try a big play, do something a little explosive here to kind of get things going, because so far grinding it out has stopped you from taking it into the end zone, and they've had some good passes across the middle. We should mention too that the wideout for the team. Nick Lott.
Right.
Used to be the quarterback on this team, and now he's moved to the wideout position. So we'll see what happens with Lott. Here's a guy that could come back, say, on a flanker or end around and throw the football.
Tell you what, though, except for 4th downs, Bloom Carroll's moved the ball fairly well on offense so far this evening.
1st and 10. They're going to pitch it. Lott's got it. He's looking downfield for somebody to throw to. He's got a man, but the pass will fall incomplete. He was looking for Eric Fry.
Boy, you must have talked to there. Nice going, buddy. First play of the 2nd quarter. That's what we're going to do.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Look at this. First of all, they look sweep left. Oh, no, now it looks like the reverse coming back to the right. But, aha, it's not. I really think Lott should have covered up the ball a little better and made it look like a run. Anyway.
But he had a man open in Fry.
Yes, he did. Slightly off the mark.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 20 with 10:18 left to go in the first half.
What do you think on this one?
2 wideouts to the bottom. I think they'll keep it on the ground this time.
Okay.
That's him 1 out of 2.
That's more like, uh-oh.
He's got Fry.
Nice
wow, nice
catch.
Adjustment to the football by Fry. Woo. And with 10:09 left to go, that's the one thing I look at Bloom Carroll, Tom, and I'm surprised. How could this team be 0-6? They show offense, with running and passing, and good defense.
Well, Whitcraft gets back quick in the pocket. Look at that elbow, nice form on the football. And boy, you can't say enough about Eric Fry's catch, the junior.
They mark him down at the 28-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 2 with 9:50 left to go in the first half. You want to call this one?
Yeah, I'd say a run right up the middle.
Backs from an eye this time. Nope. Look out.
I think it should have been a run
backside,
right
and is the ball free?
It's loose.
Yep.
It's loose,
there are
but
4 Indians and 2 Bulldogs there. Let's see who's got the football.
Yeah, that's a 2-to-1 advantage.
It is the Indians who come up with the football. Coming up with it for Canal Winchester is number 68 with the recovery, and that is Matt Taylor.
Well, you're right, Randy. Nothing to lose, but on the other hand, with 3rd and so short, you know they're going to be stacked up. And what happened was the blitz just overpowered the offensive line blocking of Bloom Carroll.
And the defensive end comes up with the ball. Watch number 68 right there, puts his arm up in the air and comes in and sees the loose ball.
Right, but Carpenter did most all the work on that. He just extended himself, sold out, caused that fumble.
1st and 10 from just past the 20-yard line. It is Carpenter inside, and boy, I tell you what, for a guy
he lost the ball.
Large, he keeps twisting and churning, but the Indians got it back, Tom McDonald.
Yeah, I think they did. It's a good thing. You'd think Carpenter would have learned.
Number 77 recovers. That is Brian Thompson.
Right. He doesn't fumble too often, but ripping that ball out, there it is on the turf. And look at number 77 hustle back in there and save a huge play. Thompson.
Chris Snoke was the guy that stripped the football, but that's how you have a good season and how you have a bad season.
Right.
See what happens there on the potential
It's
turnover?
The way the ball bounces.
For the Indians, it's a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4. Wide out to the bottom, and Hinton wing to the top. Heston hands off to number 20. Spinning and twirling is Brian Vance. And Vance is a guy that we haven't called much here offensively, although he plays linebacker as well. But he's a guy that, you know, once everybody seems to get a little worn down, especially in the second half, as a fullback, he's got the speed and he can bust one open.
He sure does. I was going to say, if he keeps running like that, we're going to be calling his name a lot more. He's a 180-pound senior, and he gets that hard yardage. When they need something really tough, Vance is the man.
27 carries on the campaign, 141 yards, and a 5.2-yard average. It is 1st down. Looks like inside the 10-yard line, closer to around the 7. The pitch. Carpenter trying to negotiate the right-hand side of the field there and try to get it in. He's inside the 5.
Ooh, there's again the outflanked him, and Bloom Carroll did a nice job of keeping Carpenter out of the end zone, but I think he's about a foot away. You'll see the quick pitch again. It's been very effective for Canal Winchester. They've got a couple lead blockers already lined up out there. Defensive effort was pretty good by 87, Richardson.
So it'll be 2nd down, and we'll mark the ball right around the 5-yard line. 7:41 left to go first half. Indians driving already up 7-0. To Carpenter. Right up the gut, and there are about 4 Bulldogs waiting for him. The guy that got him high was number 64, Chris Snoke.
Snoke definitely did a nice job, and also the young man that you say just became eligible, number 55, Troy Taylor.
Right.
He's playing very well.
And I guess when he gets you high, when Chris does that, gets you high, that would be Snoke gets in your eyes.
Heist. Yes, I like
Snoke
it.
gets in your eyes. Nobody under the age of 45 understood that joke. And a whistle and a timeout taken by Bloom Carroll.
Well,
That's a song. Okay, smoke gets in your eyes. Just for
I see.
Young folks at home there. Don't try these jokes at home. 7:10 left to go in the first half. Canal Winchester on top by a score of 7-0. Glad to have you aboard on weekend number 7 of high school football action on Coaxial Sports. Randy Reinhardt along with Tom McDonald and Jonathan Cockle.
7 already?
7
Like
already.
we just got started, Randy. It can't be week number 7.
Well, you did. You know, talking about the Mid-State League Buckeye Division, Amanda, Clear Creek, and Fairfield Union, and Canal Winchester and Hamilton Township, you could throw a hat over those teams. Amanda, of course, on top right now at 3-0 in league play, and Fairfield Union is at 3-1. Canal Winchester at 2-1. Hamilton Township at 2-1. And, of course, some of the games played on Saturday night over here because of the Fairfield County Fair this week. Right. A reminder, next week we will head for scenic Whitehall Yearling High School for the showdown between Watkins Memorial against Whitehall. And my question is, what has happened to the Warriors the last couple of weeks? They were 5-0, and now they're 5-2.
You're right. They've certainly taken their lumps lately. They're a very well-coached football team, as is Whitehall, and it should be an outstanding battle. But both teams are going to need to pick it up a little bit from their performance of this weekend.
So it'll be 3rd down and goal from just inside the 5. We'll put it at the 4-yard line. And a whistle will stop play and a flag. Do we have a false start or encroachment?
If it's encroachment, it'll be the 3rd penalty on Bloom Carroll, but this time it looks like it
is encroachment on the defense, according to referee Todd D. Baird.
Toddy Bear?
Todd D. Baird. Very cute, though. So mark it half the distance to the goal. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line.
Uh-oh. Didn't change the play call, so it looks like it was probably a run.
This is Balzer around the left side, and he is in for the touchdown. Jeremiah taking it in from 2 yards out. It is 13-0 Indians.
Balzer smelled that goal line. He was not to be denied. You could see the quick acceleration on the snap count. Knifed his way through to the left side for 6 more.
Reminds me of last night even more now. 13-0. Although I will say this, the Bulldogs have shown the ability to move the football in this contest.
They really have, Randy, and if it wasn't for a couple bad breaks on those 4th down plays, and that fumble really hurt them on this last
and the
drive.
Pass interference call as well.
Yes.
So Brunney to attempt the 14th point. There's a snap, the kick is up, and it is good. So it's 14-0 Indians, 7:06 left to go, first half. Tom, how do you like doing 2 games in one weekend?
I love it. I love it. I just wish that we could do another one tomorrow. Maybe we'll see this, yes. Once again, nice blocking by the whole left side. The fullback and halfback, left half lead through, and Balzer says, I'm getting my name in the paper, no doubt about it, and that he does.
So he takes it in for the score for head coach Mike Yonnotti, the 39-year-old. He's looking for win number 25 as a head coach, but he's been at the school for 18 years. Of course, a long-time assistant under the legendary head coach Mike Locke. And what a job he did
Coach
building
Locke.
that program at Canal Winchester.
You're right. This whole league this year is very tough. You talk about Amanda and, Canal, or Fairfield schools. Really, I can see where Bloom Carroll might not be on the top end of many scores because of and they could still be a very good football team. It's just that the type of caliber opponent they've been playing every week is
sure
up a notch or 2 from the years past.
And talking about Amanda, remember they're number 2 in the state in Division 5. And of course, Reedy is ranked as well in the state in their Division 2. So the 2 losses again by Canal Winchester by a total of what, about 8 points to 2 teams that are in the top 20.
You're right. Another touchdown here or there could have had Canal ranked in the top 5.
And it is
Canal
kickoff
Winchester.
time for the Indians. And it will be Hinton doing the honors this time, Corey Hinton. After that 6-play, 20-yard drive, taking 2:27 off the clock. Hinton with the boot, and what a liner that is!
Where'd
My
that come
goodness.
from? Cannon. Check that leg for cork. That was one heck of a kick.
So both touchdown drives for the Indians, 6 plays. And Brunney with 2 PATs in this contest. We stand at 14-0 in this game. Tom, if you're the Bulldogs, what are you going to try to do offensively here besides score?
Well, protect the passer, which they've done adequately except for that one fumble. But basically, I really think they're going to stick to that game plan. Their game plan is to throw the ball at least half the time, and it's been working to an extent.
Lott is wide to the bottom of the formation. 2 wideouts to the top. Woodcraft looking downfield for his man, and he's got him, and he drops the ball. I'll tell you what, a nice effort, though, on the play by number 23, Zach Becker.
Becker, you're right. He's really skied for that football. He's well covered on the play, and it was a perfect pass. just didn't come down with the football.
Talked about some of the career-ending injuries that they have as you look at the replay.
Oh, great.
Kevin Mason, the wide receiver that was leading the team in catches, is out. And, of course, Matt Poole, the lineman, is gone as well, not only just for the season, but their football careers are over.
That's
so
too
it's
bad.
tough to see for those two gentlemen. But it's been a tough year for the Bulldogs, those kind of injuries. And offensively, though, you've seen that they've been able to move the football. But they just need that big play to get in the end zone. They've had their chances early in this contest. 6:58 left to go. 2nd down and 10. A flag flies. And the Indians fly on defense.
They sure do, especially number 78. And you know who that is, Brian Smith. He diagnosed that misdirection counter play. Make matters worse, there's a penalty on Bloom Carroll as well.
Yep, Fry on the carry on that play for the Bulldogs, and we'll sort out this situation now with 6:53 left to go. If you're the Indians, do you want to take this penalty or decline it?
No, with that loss, I'd decline it and force him to throw the ball here on 3rd and down, maybe get the ball back with plenty of time to maybe mount another drive.
Flag rests back at the 6-yard line. And the motion call on the Bulldogs is declined. So it'll be,
yes, indeed,
3rd down and a bunch. We'll call it just about 16 with the ball resting at the 14-yard line.
3 receivers to the right.
Woodcraft. He's got Fry. He's got it at the 20. Can he shake and bake to the 30? He's up to the 25, and he is kissed big time at the 27.
He sure was, and that's a very important hit on 3rd and 15 to stop him short and force that punt. Nice tackle.
Dean was over there along with Brandon Twiss, and you got to talk about that secondary too for Canal Winchester this season. We were talking about the defensive line and the linebackers. Beller doing a great job. He's got 4 interceptions for 123 yards. Twiss has 3 interceptions for 65 yards, and Balls are doing a great job too. He's got an interception in each of the first 3 games of the season. That, not the most stylish of kicks, will go out of bounds.
No return
at the 49-yard line.
You're right.
And better than the punt by Brent Bartholomew earlier.
Yes, I noticed that one. I wasn't real pleased when I saw that 8-yarder. Goes to show you, though, when you can't get on these high school kids too often, or if you do, you look at the people getting scholarships that are punting them 8 yards. It kind of puts it in perspective.
Well, Mike Yonnotti said he was very concerned about this contest. His Indians were 4-2, but he said Bloom Carroll is a wounded bear right now. You just have to watch this team because they have shown the propensity to move the football. As we said, they just cannot get it in the end zone.
You're right. They're a gritty bunch. They're a gritty bunch.
Dean on the wing to the top. Heston rolling, pressure's on, looking downfield, has to throw off his wrong foot, and the pass is caught. What a catch made on the play by number 84, Matt Caudill.
There's an interference call downfield. I was watching the receiver. It looked like they got tangled up, and you can't play tight bump and run when the ball's in the air, and I think they're going to get Bloom Carroll for 15 yards.
They're going to call a hold on the defense instead.
Yeah, he grabbed him. And they're probably going to decline the catch and move the ball even farther.
I'll tell you what, a great play. Watch the throw, too, by Heston off the wrong foot, and Caudill diving to make the catch. So a great play by both receiver and quarterback.
Tried to cross him up a little bit. Canal Winchester hasn't passed a whole lot tonight, and on 1st down, with a 2-touchdown lead, they said, hey, let's mix it up. Let's go for that pass.
You were a gambling kind of guy as a coach, too, weren't you, over at Groveport Madison High School?
Well, I wouldn't
honest.
consider myself a gambler by any means, but, we had to take our chances from time to time. It helped when you had a good defense to back it up.
And you did. You had some great teams. They'll march the ball down to the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st down for the Indians.
You're right. They might decide to kind of evaluate a new element of their offensive scenario, and that might be the pass.
Well, Heston showed his ability to do that in the game against Fairfield Union, where they came back and scored all their points in the 4th quarter and the 1st and 2nd overtimes.
Counter.
Yep, and this is Twiss, it looks like, trying to do that. And
still
pushing
going.
And fighting, and, he should have been stopped at the 40, got all the way down to the 36-yard line.
Right, there was a little click in the in the handoff, and by all rights, he should have been stopped, but Twiss kept his legs driving. You'll see number 70 is the first man to make contact. Atkinson right there. And Twiss just is able to get away from 1 man, 2 man, fall forward. I like the way Bloom Carroll's fighting for that football, though. They're trying to knock that ball out every play.
Hit finally made by Chris Snoke on the play. We'll call it a gain of 4, 2nd down, 6-5, 19 left to go 1st half. Indians up 14-0. Heston looking, he's got
Nice
his man.
pass.
That is Beller on the slant across the middle, and he's got the catch all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Another weapon, huh? Just when you think you've got them figured out, they run counters, they run passes. Now this time they spread out the formation and hit that perfect quick post route.
Talking of bloodlines, remember Channing Beller's older brother Chad played at Canoa Winchester. Take a look at that play one more time.
You're right. Hinton on the perfect delivery there by Heston. And a nice catch. Really, the middle was vacated that time by Bloom Carroll. They were in on a stunt.
1st and 10 from the 15 with just under 5 minutes left to go first half. And a whistle will stop play.
What's the chances it could be the 4th time that I think this one might go against Canal Winchester.
We have a false start called on the offense. So we'll march it back 5 with 4:54 left to go. 14-0, as we said, Indians on top in this contest. Bloom Carroll 0-6, not playing that way, but they are down by 2 touchdowns. And the Indians coming in at 4-2 right now. And as we said, a very competitive division, the Mid-State League Buckeye right now, between teams like Amanda and Fairfield Union and Canal Winchester and Hamilton Township.
You're right, you can't take any weeks off around this league.
We will, though, next week. After 2 in 1 weekend, that's enough. 1st and 15. And trying to bounce his way outside is Kyle Patrick.
You're right, and nothing to do with for Stortz. Greg Stortz has played as well as anybody. He moves faster than the 214 pounds that he carries. Just a very physical football player.
He likes fishing and hunting, and he did a little bit of both
with
on that
bare
play.
hands, I would say, after that performance.
So we'll mark the ball back to around the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd down now, and we'll call it 18. 2nd and 18 with 4:05 left to go.
There's the boot pass.
Yep, Heston looking. Got a man wide open. It is Beller. Did he see him? The pass is incomplete.
Well, there's actually 3 men open, and that's the 3 primary receivers of the boot pass. You have your split end on a flag, your tight end dragging, and your fullback in the flat. You'll see the play action enables Heston to get out of the pocket. He does try to get his shoulder square, but that's a very tough pass going against the grain, and it would have been an outstanding catch. You're right. I think the split end may have been open deep.
Yep. Went off the right hand of Caudill, the tight end. Instead, it will be a 3rd down and 18 from the 23-yard line, down to 3:59 left to go here in the first half. That is Twiss in motion to the bottom of the formation. Hinton to the top. Yep. He was looking for Hinton, but Heston will pull it down and go and get it inside the 20, close to around the 15-yard line. Goes out of bounds with 3:49 left to go. And do you try a field goal again?
Well, you're in 4-down territory. Looks to me like there's nobody to throw it to, so he does the smart thing. He's not going to force the ball and throw an interception, and does stop the clock, like you said. Gives Canal Winchester time to decide what they're going to do, and I wouldn't doubt if they go for the touchdown instead of the field goal.
So it is 4th down and 10. We'll mark it right at the 15-yard line. 3:49 left to go. And now the Bulldogs want a timeout, and they burn it.
Well,
3:49 left.
Not a bad idea. The Bulldogs waited till the Indians got in their offensive set and then called timeout. So this will give...
I'll tell you what, too, Tom, they were in their 6-man front right now, and knowing the Indians were going to pass on 4th down, they wanted to call the timeout and take the 2 big men out from the interior of the defensive line and go with the outside linebacker and defensive back.
Right, a couple quicker kids, maybe their nickel package. The thing that they need to probably be aware is that Canal Winchester will probably not come out in that formation on this particular play, but at least they'll have a little more speed and versatility in that defensive lineup.
Yeah, they subbed Becker and Lotz during the timeouts on this 4th down and 10 situation. Well, I'm going to put you on the sidelines with Mike Yonnotti. You've got a 4th and 10. You're up 14-0. What kind of play do you call here?
Well, I'd throw the ball at least long enough to get that 1st down. You know, sometimes, and we've already seen it once tonight, where they've completed a pass, or at least one of the teams did. I think it was Bloom Carroll, completed a pass, but it wasn't long enough for the 1st down. I can see that on 2nd and 3rd down, 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, but when you really need that 1st down, like you do here on 4th, I think you need to have the ball travel in the air at least the distance that there is to get that 1st down.
Are you a science teacher here? Huh? 4th down and 10 from the 15. Heston, straight drop, looking, pressure from the outside, throws it into plenty of coverage, and it's caught on the play by Beller. I'll tell you what, he had to rifle that through about 3 defenders, and Beller came up with a football for the score.
Yes, he did. Channing Beller extended out. The nice pass, too. It was low, and nobody else could have caught that besides the offensive receiver. Good protection. Great passing starts with the good protection. The ball's thrown straight over the middle and
low to the ground.
Yes.
Miller says he came up with it. However, number 3, Ryan Campbell, said he did not, but it is now 20-0. I thought it looked like a good catch.
It really did, and if it wasn't, Beller sure did a great job of convincing us.
Unlike Bobby Ingram today for Penn State, who was given a touchdown against Purdue, and he never even had the football.
When you convince Randy that it's a touchdown, it's a touchdown.
Brunney for the extra point. It is good. It is now 21-0. Here's the stat I should wing on you right now.
Fire it at us.
Canal Winchester has won 30 of their last 32 games when they have scored 20 points or more. Right now they lead 21-0.
Huh. Don't say that too loud up here in the Bloom Carroll press box.
I like living on the edge.
Don't want to
standing on it right now.
Don't want to take the wind out of their sails, because Bloom Carroll has played a pretty good half by all rights, but just some big plays, bad breaks, tough calls, and it's 21 points in the tank.
And I'm very impressed by the play of both quarterbacks too,
right.
Especially Woodcraft, who comes out really as an untested junior. He's doing a good job leading the team for Bloom Carroll. They're just lacking that big play at times to keep the drive alive. Again, you go back to consistency. That's what a team does when they have a winning record, and the Indians know how to win. They've done it this year. Remember their 2 losses, again, by a combined total of 8 points. They lost to Amanda Clear Creek 19-14. They lost to Reedy 10-7. I think that win, though, over Fairfield Union was huge. 24-23 in 2 overtimes. Brunney getting an extra point there to win it in the second overtime. And I think they were down like 10-0 with about 9 minutes left to go in that contest, and came back. Heston threw for over 150 yards in that game and 2 touchdown passes, and the Indians got a big win against Fairfield Union. Hinton with another liner, and that one squirts right through the arms.
A rocket.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, he is kicking like he's got krypton in his leg or something.
Not much height, though, so if they were able to get in front of it, if it didn't knock the wind out of them, they would be able to have a decent return.
One guy has the extra points. That is Brunney. 3 different guys have scored touchdowns so far. As you look at the kick one more time.
That's a kickoff. Boy, they don't usually come that fast. Look what happens. It hit him, and it still continued, almost like it went right through him.
That would be a fly there. Touchdowns by Dean, Balzer, and Beller so far in this contest. 1st and 10, mark the ball at the 20. 3:42 left to go. With 3 wideouts now to the bottom of the formation for the Bulldogs. Becker, the lone back right now behind Woodcraft. And he will get the football and squirt through. The 20 lost the ball. It is free. And you got to get down on the ball, not try to pick it up. But that time we found an Indian that could, and that is going to be Brian Vance, and he'll take it back for the score. Number 77, Brian Thompson, tried to scoop it up without going down to the ball. But it turned out to work for the Indians. Again, when things are going right, they are going right. It is scooped up by Vance, and he takes it back for the touchdown. And now it is 27-0.
Score on defense. That's a coach's dream. And here we go. You'll see on the replay, it's the off tackle play, and right there he has the ball pretty well covered up, but Twiss, number 22, just lights him up with a shoulder on the football, and you'll see
Thompson missing the ball.
Yeah, Thompson wanted his name in the paper, but nothing doing. There's the man that's going to get in there, Mr. Vance.
Unofficially from about 18 yards out, it looks like, on the fumble recovery. They're going to call it 22, though, from the ball squirted out. So it'll be a 22-yard fumble return for Vance. Brunney with his second extra point in 20 seconds, and it is now 28-0 with 3:31 left to go in the first half.
We get a chance to see another one of Corey Hinton's line drive kickoffs. You know, Randy, before that play, or actually before the fumble, I was going to say that Bloom Carroll kind of dug themselves into a crater, but now they've dug themselves into a canyon.
Yep, and it's grand.
It's grand because they're really going to have their work cut out for them.
28-0 here with 3:31 left to go in the first half. Glad to have you aboard here on Coaxial Sports. A doubleheader weekend from the Mid-State League, and both games so far lopsided, but hey, plenty of time left in this contest, and we'll see what happens, what the Bulldogs can do in this game. We will use every piece of fill material we have this weekend, I can guarantee you.
On the positive side, Bloom Carroll's offense is designed with throwing in mind, whereas a lot of teams, when they get behind, if they're run-oriented, they have to try something that they're not used to doing. In Bloom Carroll's case, they are used to throwing the football, so it might not have quite as adverse effect as some people might feel.
They've got a great pro-style offense. Again, we just go back to what we said earlier. They're just lacking the big play so far here in the first half, and some breaks have gone against them. There was a fumble after about a 4-yard gain that an Indian tried to scoop up while still standing upright. Another guy was able to do it and take it in for the score. There was the pass interference call and a couple of big 4th down conversions by the Indians, and they're up now 28-0. And look at this again, Hinton with a rocket to the end zone, and Becker will keep it right there.
I'll say.
We were talking about weather conditions, Tom.
Right.
Game time temperature was 50 degrees here in the city of Carroll, Ohio.
Short weather.
Is the weather perfect for football? Is it a little damp out there?
Well, it's a whole lot better than it was this afternoon. I tell you, there's not much wind, and really the field seems to have held the rain pretty well. Yeah, I think it's a pretty darn good night for football and for being able to throw the football.
So it's 28-0. Bulldogs down. They'll have it 1st and 10 again from the 20-yard line. 3:31 left to go first half. It'll be Lott wide to the bottom, Fry to the top.
Well, one at a time. They need to put some points on the board this half.
Backs are split. Becker gets the carry. Fights forward to the 24 before he's hogtied.
That's right. Don't make it so it's every play is going to be a pass. Still got to run that offense for Bloom Carroll. And
Thompson got him from behind, Tom.
Thompson has been all over that field tonight. I think now you're going to see a few more passes, though.
It'll be 2nd down and 6 with the ball resting up at the 24-yard line. We tick down to 3:05, 3:04 to go first half. Reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll be entertained by both high school marching bands.
Saw them march in today. They seem like they've got a lot of enthusiasm.
Woodcraft. Play action. Looking for Lott. Nice hands by Nick to make the catch.
I'll say there was. Balls were in on the stop, but you couldn't have drawn up a pass play more perfect than that out route. And that's a tough pass to throw, by the way.
And a tough one to catch, too. And Lott has made a nice transition from being quarterback to a wideout.
Well, he's a great athlete. He's got good hands, very heady type of kid. And you're right. He's not afraid to catch the ball in a crowd. Look at this camera work. Right on the money. You see the ball spiraling right to the hands. And there's the big hit.
Of course, his brother was a great athlete here. Justin,
yes,
with 2 U's, by the way, in his first name, Lott. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 from the 29-yard line. And the handoff will get it inside.
Close.
Right around the 30-yard line. Carry that time by number 33 for the Bulldogs. That is Josh Hinton.
Move those chains.
Take a look at this one more time.
Okay, they needed about 1. This is a good play isolation to get that 1 yard. And sure enough, 1st down.
Hinton, I think, played a lot of tight end last season for the Bulldogs.
Well, he's 200 pounds, Randy. I could see where I'd give him the ball up the middle.
2:27 left, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Woodcraft nearly slides down. Did his knee go down? Yep, they say he touched the turf at around the 22, 23-yard line.
Yeah, and we had Lott on a deep pass. Interesting to see if he could have got that play off. It was single coverage. Good play action, but the conditions must be a little slippery in that neck of the woods.
He's trying to get the mud off the bottom of his shoe right now, so it'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 17 with the ball back at the 23-yard line with your verbal 2-minute warning here in the first half. Again, it is Fry to the top and Lott to the bottom. Becker, check that. That is Hinton, the lone back this time in the pass underneath the Fry, out across the 30-yard line up to around the 32, 33.
We got back at chunk of change that they lost on the previous slippage, and then some. Vance, I think, was in on the hit. Maybe Balzer as well.
Well, it's a 3rd down situation now,
yeah.
And you're down to 1:27 left to go in the first half, and the ball resting at the 33-yard line. Let's see what the Bulldogs can do. One more 1st down, and maybe they can start thinking about a possible score here to end the first half. Becker and Fry to the bottom of the formation. Woodcraft pressures on, trying to escape it, and he's going nowhere. He's sacked back at the 26-yard line.
Nice call, an outside blitz by the 2 outside linebackers, forced the quarterback to step up in the pocket, and then Brian Smith made the hit, big number 78.
You can play either defensive end or defensive tackle for the Indians. That'll set up a 4th down situation. So again, too, not only the Bulldogs not have good
it'd take a long time for us.
But the other thing is, too, that the Indians have had to make the big play, and every time it's come through for them in this contest. 42 seconds left to go, and that one goes out of bounds.
Might have been a good thought to kind of take a little time off the clock before you punted that thing. I don't think Canal Winchester's got great field position, and they may just choose to fall on it, but they are on the plus side of the 50, so look for them to maybe try to get another cheap one and just stash any hopes that Bloom Carroll may have of a comeback.
Joey Pistol with a punt, and it shoots out of bounds at the 45-yard line, so the Indians will get it back. 42 seconds left. What are you going to try?
Well, they have their full complement of timeouts, if I'm not mistaken, and with that and the offense that they've shown, it could be a nice play-action pass. Try to hit number 28. Is a very good receiver. That's Beller.
First down from the 45 in Bulldog territory. It is Carpenter on the handoff. And Kevin will get maybe to the 42, and that'll be about it. They burn a timeout.
Did they?
They are right now. They're going to burn a timeout.
Okay, well, with that in mind, then we'll probably look to see the ball up in the air now. Interesting, try to cross up the defense with a guy like Carpenter. He's always a big play threat. Not that time.
So it'll be second down with the ball resting at the 42, and we'll call it 7 with 31.1 left to go here in the first half. And the Indians have ruled up by a score of 28-0 in this contest. And I believe 4 different players have scored touchdowns in this game so far for Canal Winchester.
Right, certainly mixed up the glory. And there's never anything wrong with that. And of course, that's the offensive side of it. Let's talk about Coach Mike Burkhart's defense. They're very much in the opportunistic mode tonight because they have not allowed a point yet, and we're striking those ticks down to halftime.
What a quarterback and linebacker he was for Pickerington in his heyday back in the 80s. A long, long, long time ago. He is tremendously old. He's aging every moment.
Rare combination.
No on the top of his head.
There you go. Rare combination, quarterback and linebacker.
He said I was too nice to him last time, so I thought I'd be nasty.
That's right. Get after him.
Second down and 7 from the 42. Just over 31 seconds left in the first half. Heston. Nope, they'll keep it on the ground.
Timeout for that.
They get down to around the 37-yard line. Take a look at this one more time. Carpenter from ground level.
All right, you'll see a little misdirection, the old counter play with the tackle trap. And speaking of tackles, nice job. Number 23, that's Becker.
Yep, Zach wouldn't let go.
He's played a nice football game, but Canal Winchester's satisfied to keep the current margin of difference and hit the showers. Or the locker room, anyway.
Well, you could shower right now, maybe half the team. No, I don't know. We'll see what Bloom Carroll can do in the second half. It has been all Indians in the first 24 minutes. At the break, 28-0 in favor of Canal Winchester. Back with more here on Coaxial Sports High School Football Game of the Week right after this. Stay tuned.
Listen to what Krieger Ford customers are saying.
I've been treated absolutely superb. And I say this with no reservation whatsoever.
I would tell everyone to come to Krieger because the people in the sales department are just super. People in the lease department know what they're doing, and service has always been right on.
You cannot beat their price. I've tried and I've looked.
I would tell them to go to Krieger. They couldn't get a better deal or service anywhere.
Krieger Ford on Morse Road across from the Northland Mall.
Choosing a lawyer could be the most important decision of your life. You'll want a lawyer with the experience to handle your particular legal problem. The right person for the right job. For automobile or motorcycle accidents resulting in serious injury or death, or for victims of medical malpractice, there's only one law firm you need to call, Walski & Blue. For over 25 years, Walski & Blue have helped people all over Ohio, and they can help you too. Call Walski & Blue at 228-6969.
Welcome back. We're at the half with Bloom Carroll trailing Canal Winchester by a score of 28-0. You're entertained right now by the Bloom Carroll High School Marching Band under Brad Roach in his second year, featuring the music of John Williams. The Bloom Carroll High School Marching Band under Brad Roach in his second year. The flag corps instructor is Shelba Riggenbach. The percussion instructor is Darren Rayburn. The field commanders are Zach Casperson and Kristen Kobe. The flag corps captain is Janelle Preston. 60 in all in the band, featuring the music of John Williams, performing such songs as Raiders of the Lost Ark, Far and Away, featuring a mellophone solo by Katie Sullivan, the theme from Jurassic Park, theme from E.T. Events coming up for the band. They'll be hosting the Bloom Carroll Classic featuring 12 bands on October the 21st. The band will be starting a jewelry sale shortly, and the band boosters are always helping the band with fundraisers, and for that, the band would like to say a big thank you to all the boosters. You missed the Canal Winchester High School Marching Band because, frankly, they were supposed to play 4 songs. All of a sudden, it changed to 2, but we will tell you that they were scheduled to play the following songs under Mark Schoenbeck. Their marching band instructor, their guard instructor is Debbie Crow. The band assistants are Andy Reitz and field commander Mindy Hinton, 35 in all. Songs performed were supposed to be Appaloosa, featuring a solo by Kylie Flowers on trumpet, Inner Light with Rachel Jernowski on piccolo, I Can See Clearly Now, and Shenandoah, a solo by Greg Yates on horn. Coming up for the Canal Winchester High School Marching Band, they performed in the Riverview competition this past weekend, and the Canal Winchester competition is coming up next weekend, featuring 17 different bands. Check that one out. We're at the break right now. It is 28-0. Indians on top of the Bulldogs. Back with more here on Coaxial Sports right after this. Stay tuned.
When Dave Thomas created Wendy's spicy chicken filet sandwich, he said, if we're going to make it spicy,
well, it's a start.
Let's really make it spicy.
Now we're getting closer.
So he seasoned a whole chicken breast filet by adding his own special blend of pepper and spices. And he kept on seasoning until it was perfect.
Bingo.
Come and try Wendy's spicy chicken filet sandwich, because
when you're hot, you're hot.
Know what you can do with that dear old antique car of yours that's taking up precious space? Stuff it. That's right, stuff our garage instead of yours. Know what you can do with everything that's taking up that extra space in your home? Stuff it. That's right, stuff our space instead of yours.
Welcome back. We're at the half. Canal Winchester on top of Bloom Carroll in a shutout, 28-0. Randy Reinhardt along with Tom McDonald, Jonathan Cockrell, and Steve Bassford. And time now to take a look at the numbers from the first 2 quarters of play. And Tom, you look at the numbers, especially on the ground, you can see it favors Canal Winchester.
In a huge way, Randy, there's no doubt about it. The turnover also hurt Bloom Carroll. Passing yards, of course, as expected, Bloom Carroll has the edge, but really that's the only stat in which they're winning.
In fact, that turnover led directly to a touchdown as Vance scooped it up and took it in from 22 yards out. 4 different players have scored touchdowns in this contest for the Indians. On the ground, your leading rushers, Carpenter for the Indians, 12 carries, 103 yards. And for the Bulldogs, Becker, 4 carries for 19 yards. Lawless, 3 for 17. We're at the break right now. Canal Winchester up by a score of 28-0. A doubleheader weekend from the Mid-State League. Time now to take a look at our Sports Medicine Grant players of the game from Licking Heights and New Albany. On this Saturday, November the 20th. It will not be the football team.
Unfortunately.
It was a tough loss for the Buckeyes up there, and we'll have to wait to see what happens. 11-3, Buckeyes on top, cross court, and that was a nice play by number 3, Susie O'Donnell. Sure to serve now for Michigan. Susie, number 3. And a substitution checking in for the first time in this match for Michigan is number 10, Rita McCahill. She's a senior from Western Springs, Illinois. Coach Giovinazzi wants to make sure all his seniors get a chance to play out there.
And they also changed setters.
What a hit by Leonard. Leonard and Jackson have been the story in game 3.
Nice strong attack here. She just goes right inside the block. The outside blocker didn't get the block position well enough. She just beat them both to the inside.
Here's a young lady that's been a stabilizing factor for the Buckeyes with her ball.
I'm Dr. Ray Tessner, Medical Director from Sports Medicine Grant. Just like sports medicine, football is a team sport. When one of us achieves some degree of success, it reflects the hard work and dedication of the entire team. With that in mind, I'd like to present this week's Sports Medicine Grant Players of the Game.
We went with Chuck Bates. He had 2 touchdowns in this contest and also played well defensively.
You're right, Bates was very tough. I like the way he was able to run hard with the football block and also played outstanding defense.
Meanwhile, the player of the game for New Albany, well, Willie Owens saw a lot of time on special teams, returning kicks. He was a running back. He was a defensive back. And we go with Willie as the player of the game for the Eagles tonight.
I like him a lot. You know, that safety man's not necessarily supposed to have to make as many tackles as he had to tonight. But each time he answered the call and was very physical out there and played his heart out to the very end.
I'm Tom Crawford, Center Director for Sports Medicine Grant. Congratulations to these outstanding athletes, their teammates, and their respective schools. Enjoy the second half of the game and tune in next week for Sports Medicine Grant's Players of the Game.
Every day is Fall Festivo.
Cantina del Rio, Cantina del Rio.
Come and enjoy tantalizing quesadillas, frosty drinks, and our new beef chimichangas and roasted vegetable burritos. Now only $6.99 each.
Tastes great and less pesos, Cantina del Rio.
That's one small step for man. Houston. Go ahead, Apollo. These boots are killing me.
For comfort that's out of this world, insist on Wolverine DuraShocks with the exclusive shock-absorbing sole.
Wolverine DuraShocks at out-of-this-world prices at Grand Canyon, 5304 Cleveland Avenue.
Welcome back to Bloom Carroll High School. Canal Winchester on top by a score of 28-0 as we get ready for the start of the second half. Randy Reinhardt along with Tom McDonald and Jonathan Cockrell and Steve Bassford, and a blustery night here on the far, far east side of our coverage area. And Tom, 28-0 at the break. First of all, if you're Mike Yonnotti, you got to be happy you're up by 4 touchdowns. Your team is somewhat banged up right now. Maybe you can take it easy to a certain extent in the second half, but what did he tell his team at the break?
Well, I think Canal Winchester's not looking to win big. They're just looking to win and get out of this one and move on. And you're right, Randy. I don't think you're going to find too many surprises, at least from their side of the ball this half.
As you look at the Indians huddling up right now as we get ready to start the second half. Meanwhile, if you're head coach Rick Schaffner, what did you tell your Bulldogs at the break?
Well, you told them that a football game is 2 halves, Randy, and we can forget about the first one now. We're going to head into this second one, and we're going to make things happen.
Boy, you got me pepped up there. I'm ready to go, too. I'll go out there and play. As we get ready for the start of the second half, and it doesn't get any easier for Canal Winchester because next week they have to take on Hamilton Township. We talked about the Mid-State League Buckeye Division II. Amanda Clear Creek at 3-0 right now in league competition. Then you have Fairfield Union at 3-1. Canal Winchester and Hamilton Township both at 2-1. A lot of the teams in the Mid-State League obviously in Fairfield County and did not play on Friday night are playing tonight because of the Fairfield County Fair that took place this past week. But a lot of contests last night, some interesting games. Touch on those throughout the second half because, well, plenty of time it looks like. Beechcroft over Brookhaven 27-21 in 2 overtimes in City League Red. So the Cougars on top now with a record of 4-0.
That's right. Mifflin also remained undefeated, Randy.
That would be in the blue division. We're going to work our way down there. Just wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Independence with a nice win. Their first on the season over Northland by a score of 24-14. West got by South 22-6, and it was Western Hills drubbing Eastmore 56-14. Blue division, as you said, Mifflin a big winner over East 47-8. They're now 7-0 on the season as Hinton is ready to boot it for the Indians. And again, look at this monster kick, but this time it'll be Becker with the return as he got it at the 5-yard line. Zach up across the 15, spins at the 20 and goes down right around the 21-yard line.
Excellent kick coverage. Canal Winchester's part, and the number 35, Kyle Patrick.
And Tom, it's been an interesting weekend for us here at Coaxial Sports because we've seen so many Division 5 and 6 schools here. We've seen so many players play both ways that when we go back to Division 1 and 2, we'll think back to this weekend and say, remember down there in Division 5 and 6 where they had 9 guys going both ways in the contest?
That's right. You certainly get a little more tired when you're doing that. And we've also had some outstanding band performances as well.
Woodcraft at quarterback will hand it off to Becker. And he'll get a nice gain on first down up across the 25-yard line. play on the defensive line by Speakman and Shea Hay tonight for the Indians, and Speakman in on that hat, 6'2", 170, and a junior. Nice sprinkling of underclassmen there for Mike Yonnotti and his squad for the Indians in 1995. It is lot wide to the bottom, fry to the top. On a second down, we'll call it 6 from the 25. Hand off inside, and they'll get it up to around the 28-yard line. On the carry this time for the Bulldogs is number 43. That is BC Speakman.
Well, they're playing a little conservative, and I think it's a good idea to try to get started here with initial first down. They've moved the ball well on first and second down. As you see on this replay, just a straight dive up the middle, splits the seam, makes it 3rd and about 2.
Brian Thompson on the hit for the Indians. 3rd and 2. Let's get pumped. 10.5 left to go, 3rd quarter. Let's see what happens for the Bulldogs. Little play action. Woodcraft looking downfield, and they try to have Lott adjust to the football, but to no avail. It's thrown behind him. We'll set up a 4th down and 2 situation.
You have to like that call, though, Randy. You know, it would have been safe to try to get that first down, but hey, when you're down 28 points and you only have a half a football to catch up, you have to get a little bold, and that certainly was the case in that call.
Jeremiah Balzer with the coverage for the Indians. So 4th down, and Pistol packing a strong right foot, standing back at the 17-yard line.
Which foot?
Excuse me, left foot.
That's better. Oh.
I think I might have picked the better foot on that one.
Yeah, maybe.
As it bounces out of bounds at around the 43-yard line.
No return.
Good point.
Good field position as well for Canal Winchester to start this second half.
10-17 left to go, 3rd quarter. I'll tell you what, though, Pistol is going to be a good quarterback here at Bloom Carroll, too. He's got a good arm, and he will be a force in the future for the Bulldogs. And what a job, too, Coach Schaffner has done taking over this program again. Remember, he was here for 13 years, was gone for a couple of years from a coaching standpoint, still taught here, but is now taking over the program again to set it up for the winning tradition they're used to having. We'll touch on some of the years they've had just a second. Carpenter around the right side, big opening. Kevin all the way down to around the 38, 37-yard line. Touching on the success that Bloom Carroll's had in the past, you go back to 4 years ago, actually 3 years ago they were 7-3, 4 years ago they were 7-3, and 5 years ago, remember, they were 10-0 and didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a great football team talent-wise, and they really put it all together. It was a shame they didn't get to go to the playoffs that year because I really felt they had one of the finest teams at that division in the state.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down and 4.
Check counter.
That is hitting wide to the top of the formation.
Yep.
Handoff goes right up the gut, and look at this move.
Oh, another
it's going to be Vance taking it the distance. Faked everybody out. Brian Vance for the touchdown. 9:16 left to go. Light it up. It is now 34-0.
We're talking north and south right off the bat. I don't know if Jason Fulton was the man pulling the trap.
What did I tell you about Brian Vance in the second half? Everybody's thinking about the halfback. All of a sudden, he can squirt through there. He's a punishing runner, but he has the ability, too, that once he gets by the linebackers, he can take on the defensive backs, make a nice move there, and get by him and take it in for the touchdown.
That was a nice little juke there, but everything else was north and south, and it was Jason Fulton on the trap block.
37 yards now for Vance on that scoring run, so that gives him a touchdown on offense and 1 on defense in this contest tonight, as he's the guy that took the fumble back, unofficially 22 yards, and the Indians get their 11th man on the field rapidly. Will they get the kickoff in time?
I think so.
There's the snap. It bounces in there, and the kick will be no good. Well, the snap bounced in, and Brunney decided to go through with it anyway, and the kick was no good, so we stay at 34-0 with 9:16 left to go here in quarter number 3.
Canal Winchester has a flaw, Randy. If you just let them score 5 times, they're going to miss an extra point here.
I would call that a minor blemish.
Minor blemish.
34-0 the counts. We talked about the Indians at 4-2 on the season with a win over Bexley 21-9. Then a win over Grandview by a score of 23-7. As you look one more time at the
a lot of times the kickers get blamed when they don't make an extra point or a field goal. It takes 3 people. Of course, they should consider the holder and the center as part of that triangle, so to speak. And basically, though, when a kicker makes one, kicks a good field goal, they should give credit to the center and that holder as well.
Picking up on the Canal Winchester season, after the first 2 wins, they lost to Reedy 10-7, their first home loss in 7 games. Then they defeated Circleville 10-0 in a game we did here on Coaxial Sports. Got by Fairfield Union 24-23 in 2 overtimes, then lost to Amanda Clear Creek by a score of 19-14. And this time they stand at 34-0 in week number 7 with 9:16 left to go here in quarter number 3. And Hinton with the bionic leg one more time.
Becker's going to make something happen this time.
On a liner from the 5. Zach to the 10. 15, spins at the 20. Looks for an opening. There's nothing there. He's brought down around the 24-yard line.
Let's get some blocks on that return team. That should be a good returnable kick. It's so fast, gets down there. Nice catch, but you're right, they didn't hit the wedge.
Recapping the last scoring drive, 3 plays, 43 yards, took 101 off the clock. Vance from 37 yards out. The kick was no good. We stand at 34-0, and still plenty of time left, Tom.
You're right, it's not too late.
I was thinking about ordering a pizza, actually. First down and 10 with 8:52 left to go here in quarter number 3. That is Fry wide at the top of the formation, one back behind Whitcraft in the backfield. And he gets the handoff.
Hey!
Speakman, look at Speakman go. Still on his feet. Hey, an impressive play by that young man getting some playing time here in quarter number 3.
Well, this has been one of the most successful plays that Bloom Carroll has. Derek Roberts pulls and kicks out. They full block it, and there's a seam there, as you can see. Also, excellent run this time. I like the way he holds on to the football, too, because let's face it, Speakman does not want to give up the ball.
He's 5'7", 159, and a sophomore, B.C. Speakman.
Okay, now here's the same formation this side. Last time they came right back with it to the right.
First and 10. He's got it this time. He's at the 40, and he's driven back right there. Twiss got him high, but he had help down low.
That time, Chris Miller was the man, the senior, doing the guard kick-out block. Wasn't near as effective.
Miller, another two-way player. He's the second leading tackler on defense for the Bulldogs.
Coming right at you, down, down, kick out, but you know who, number 77, Brian Thompson, is in there on the stop.
Yep, 7-7 got him low and 2-2 got him high.
Formation in the sideline now.
Second down, we'll call it 8. Handoff goes inside, and not a whole lot there on the play for number 7, Quentin Horn.
A little wrinkle. He probably gave it away a little bit by lining up in the sideline. I think if you wanted to call somebody in on the stop, that might have been Vance again.
He's been a force tonight, as we said, a fumble recovery for a score, and he's taken one in for a touchdown on offense as well. It is 34-0. Canal Winchester on top. 7:25 left to go, quarter number 3.
Well, with the pressure Canal's putting on, it might be a good time for Bloom Carroll to try a bootleg pass, maybe roll to his left, try to break contain.
And the pass is intended for Speakman. I think he caught it on the fly, but the bad news is he'll gain about 2 inches.
That's the good news. You're right. It was the bootleg, as predicted, but the contain was still there. It didn't fool Canal Winchester's defensive end, and although the pass was completed, it forces a punting situation.
Fourth down, and we'll call it just about 5 with 6:58 left to go here in third quarter, and Pistol's back standing at his own 30-yard line. You got to see him at quarterback, too. This kid has got an arm. Punter and quarterback, and I almost thought he was going to fake it there for a second. Nice high kick that time.
Man, no return.
Exit stage left. Yes, no return again. Thank you. You're right on top of that every time. We can't fool you.
I don't think there's been a yard returned, punt returned tonight for Canal Winchester.
What can we learn from this?
Well, if you want to not have any returns, you kick it out of bounds.
Thank you very much. You didn't waste those 7 years in college, did you?
No.
Mark it out at the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians right there, already up by a score of 34-0.
34.
And Heston still in at quarterback. He hands off to Carpenter. Kevin across midfield. Look out. 45, 40, spinning, churning all the way down to the 35-yard line.
Looks like the well-conditioned athletes of Canal Winchester are really accepting this challenge to ice this game early. You'll see on the replay, the whole left side of the line blocks down. They have their 2 guards pulling and kicking out. That's in the names of Folden and Hager. And there's Carpenter doing the rest. Last man makes the tackle.
That would be Campbell, who was good on that play. So it'll be 1st down and 10 with 6:34 left to go. And again, remember, Canal Winchester Division 5, not that many extra players, Tom, so you can't put in too many subs too early. There aren't that many guys on the roster.
I don't know.
Taking it around the right.
Nice cut. Who's that?
Zach Swigert. Swigert on the carry.
Let me get that. Yeah, Zach Swigert, number 26. He's a 10th grader now. That's his first carry, I believe. And they didn't miss a beat with him. Nice cutback.
And that's the nice thing, too, about Mike Yonnotti. When he knows the game is out of reach, he liberally substitutes to the best of his ability that he can with the Division V program. The other thing we should mention, too, about Canal Winchester is they've been decimated by injuries so far this season. We touched on some of them earlier. But, again, this is a pay-to-play program this year over at Canal Winchester.
Yes, and that's incredible. And I think it has an effect on the numbers. Despite their successful record, there aren't that many bodies on the sideline, especially on the Canal Winchester side. Now, one positive thing from the Bloom Carroll standpoint is the number of players they seem to have in the program, and that's the first step into moving that back in the direction they want to go, is to get the bodies out.
And a timeout is taken with 6:20 left to go here in quarter number 3. The other thing, too, when we're talking about pay to play for Canal Winchester, it's difficult situations. $150 for football, $25 for the general activity fee, and $20 for the busing fee. So it's a total of $195 to play football. Although you got to remember, too, in Division V, and they're barely in Division V, with this size school and squad, you'll see plenty of playing time probably, as long as you give 100% in practice. The other thing, too, is you look at Bloom Carroll, you talked about the numbers, too. And, Tom, I think there's a lot of talented athletes out there, too. And I think it's just a matter of getting one more year of getting used to the system of Coach Schaffner. Remember, he's been gone for a couple of years. And under Coach Blackstone, they had an entirely different system here at Bloom Carroll. So give them one more year, and they'll be a force again in the Mid-State League.
Sounds good to me.
First down and 10 with 6:20 left to go. And around the left side they go. Short gain on that play.
Yes, much better.
Swigert one more time on the carry.
You're right. I like the way Swigert covers the football up. That's very critical when you're getting in scoring position, to keep both hands on the ball. However, number 87, Bo Richardson, was not fooled and made a nice tackle.
Richardson, 6'4", 190, and a freshman. The third freshman in school history to ever start.
Is that right?
Yep.
Third?
It's Bloom Carroll, so we'll call it second down and 9.
That surprises me.
Hinton is wide to the bottom of the formation. Swigert again, this time around the right side, and nothing doing. Guess who was there?
Yes, he flip-flopped just to stop that play. Mr. Bo Richardson.
Another Bo show for the Bulldogs with 5:35 left to go.
Ninth grader.
Yep, likes basketball and geology. And happy birthday to Bo. He turns 15 on Monday.
Not bad at all.
So it'll be a third down situation now. We'll call it just over 12 with 5:18 left to go. 34-0.
Yes.
And we've got motion.
That's right. It's going to cost him 5. And you know, that's one thing that's a little bit disappointing, those type of penalties. Bloom Carroll should not have that many encroachment penalties.
Yep. Another 5-yard encroachment
right
called
in
on
front
the
of the
Bulldogs.
football.
Yeah, we'll check your officials one more time, because you were asking me about those mere moments ago, Tom.
I was commenting.
Yeah, your referee is Todd D. Baird. The umpire is Chris Leitner. The linesman is Wilbur Lanier. You're making me laugh. The line judge is Mike Reinhart, no relation. Back judge is Jeff Irwin.
Mike Reinhart.
We're taking over. Reinhardt's rule.
I thought they were all related.
Well, we're all brothers.
Buck?
No. 3rd and 7. 5:07 left to go, quarter number 3. They fake the pitch.
Humble.
The inside counter, they lose the ball, and who's got it?
Well, it looks to me like someone in maroon pants. 58.
56 coming up with a football for the Indians, and that is Eric Roman. Talked about the injuries, Tom McDonald, for Canal Winchester. You've got Brad Theodore, Jason Dean, Brian Smith, Chris Hager. All those guys really fighting various injuries. Theodore, Dean, and Smith with ankle injuries. Hager having some back problems. But the Indians still fighting through all this.
4th down, Randy.
They're going to go for it. And Heston's looking in the end zone for Hinton, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Ryan Campbell.
You're right, Campbell was there.
He's got 2 touchdowns this season, leading the team in scoring, one on offense.
That ball was thrown well, you know.
With a 51-yard touchdown catch and a 60-yard punt return for a score against Hillsborough.
Here's the boot action. It seems to be Canal Winchester's favorite play, and it works well because of the sweep that they run to the wing side. Whew.
Right through his hands.
Yes, indeed. You can't throw it much better than that.
I'll tell you what, Hinton has the complete game. We saw what he can do as a kicker as well. And that's what scares me about Canal Winchester. So many talented players. When you're trying to scout this team and try to figure out who to stop, you can't just say stop Carpenter. They have so many weapons.
Right. It's like the Buckeyes. You just can't concentrate in any one area. But Bloom Carroll dodged a big bullet here on 1st down.
Woodcraft thought about throwing, ran out of time.
All right. They didn't dodge the big tank. That's that number 77 again, isn't it? That's a daggone Brian Thompson.
Yeah, and
look
Brian
at him.
Smith.
Look at him dodge people. Versatile. Oh, my. A sack. Another sack.
77 and 78 converging, and Thompson's had a great game defensively.
He's been the sack master, no doubt about it.
I think I bought one of those for my kitchen. 2nd and 16. Woodcraft with the pump. Thought about taking it inside. Now, Tom, was there too much pressure, or was that a quarterback draw?
Nope, too much pressure, I believe, because the receivers were running routes, and why run a quarterback draw way back here? But, you know, it might not be a bad idea to try a screen pass or a draw this deep in your own end.
Screen pass, eh? We'll see if that happens here on a 3rd down. With 3:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and we're going to mark the ball at around the 12-yard line.
You know, that might be one of the most frustrating things from an offensive standpoint. Bloom Carroll did have good pass protection early on, and the whole first half, as a matter of fact, but it's certainly broken down in this, the second half.
Fry is the guy to the bottom. It is Lott to the top on a 3rd down situation. They'll hand it off inside and get it up to maybe the 15-yard line. It'll be a punting situation again for the Bulldogs.
Yes, and who's your man going to punt this time? Is there going to be a return? What's your prediction?
Well, you've told me no.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think we might try to do experiment here. We're going to try to kick that ball straight down to number 3, Pat Craycraft.
We'll see. We'll see if Heston comes out at quarterback, too, on this possession. Hey, how about that? They are.
Oh, but Carpenter stole it.
Yep, he came in front of him around the 40-yard line, gets down to around the 36.5, 37-yard line, and Indians will have the ball in excellent field position with 2:29 left to go in the 3rd quarter. It's been all Caudill Winchester. They were up 28-0 in this contest at the break and now lead by a score of 34-0. Take a look at that return one more time.
Good concentration. 2 men converged on the catch.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Brandon Twiss, number 22, take over at quarterback.
Carpenter had it and was brought down by Jim Johnson.
And it is Twiss, the junior at quarterback.
All right.
New faces in there for the Indians.
Ooh.
And he lost the handle on the football.
That's a pile. There's a mad scramble there, but I think retaining possession.
The Indians get it back.
Are the Indians. Not your great way to start your quarterbacking situation. Of course, they haven't had much practice time together.
Coming up with the football, Tom, was number 56, Eric Roman.
That's 2 he's recovered here in a matter of, what, 3 minutes?
I think so.
Not bad at all. He's touched the ball more than the receivers.
Look at Coach Kottner, the defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs.
It's good they have him back. He's an outstanding coach.
2nd down and 11, 1:38 left. Twiss on a long count. They show blitz. Will they come? Yes, they do. And the ball is dropped again and scooped up. Look what I found, Ma, by Swigert.
That's right. I'm going to tell you right now, Randy, that wasn't designed.
It wasn't?
No,
okay,
it wasn't designed as a dribble play. But I think Swigert does play basketball as well, and maybe he wanted to get a little head start on the hoop season.
So we'll mark the ball at the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and just more than 10. Coach Schaffner there wearing the headset and the baseball cap there. You got to feel for him, and you got to be happy, too, for Mike Yonnotti of Caudill Winchester at the same time. As we said, one of our teams always wins and one always loses. We're definitely in that situation here. Twiss will option down the line, and Swigert will have to hunt the ball
what's going to
down
happen
at
here?
the
He's going to reverse his field to the 40. Back to the 45. There he goes.
Tom will do the play-by-play. Go ahead, Tom. You're on a roll.
All right, and he's finally down. Now, I'll tell you what.
Yes.
That's 3 fumbles on 3 consecutive plays. Goes to show you.
What?
Well, it goes to show you that if you ever had the. Well, see, they took out their first-string backfield, and these guys have not had the opportunity to work as often together in practice because they're all playing other positions, and they're just going to have to time it up a little better.
And Twiss is an excellent athlete, so it's good to get him some playing time in there as a junior. I wonder if he'll be the quarterback of the future for the Indians. We'll have to see.
I think he will, and I think they're going to base their attack on the option a little bit more when he takes over at the helm.
He's got the speed. The Indians now will burn a timeout. I think they were short perhaps a player, and they burned that timeout with 7.4 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Strategic move, perhaps, huh?
Yeah, how long did Swigert, was he trying to kill the clock? It looked like he ran around for about 30 seconds there, eluded about 3 or 4 tackles. before he was finally stopped.
Well, the nice thing I liked about that play by Zach is he didn't give up. He came back to the football, looked for the opening, and gave a little ground so he could wait to see if his blockers could establish something for him. Then he brought it back up across midfield and down to around the 44-yard line. So
punt time.
4th down situation. We'll see what happens here. 7.4 left on the clock.
That's all in the 3rd quarter?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Really moving, isn't it?
Talk about, yes.
The home team has only been outscored in our 2 games this weekend by a total count of 77-0.
Okay, well. Now's time to change that. The momentum is going to swing.
Okay. Taken from Tom McDonald. A known swinger. Punting situation
He's
now.
back there, Nick Lott.
And Twiss standing at the 45. Pressure's on. And no flag down, and that kick will go out of bounds.
No return.
With 0.8 of a second left to go in quarter number 3.
Now, if it's a basketball, you're not allowed to get a playoff in less than. See, that's why football is better. You can get a playoff in 0.8 of a second. You can get a shot off. You can get a pass off in 0.8 of a second here in football, but not in hoops.
So the Bulldogs will get the ball 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line with 0.8 of 1 second left in quarter number 3.
So if they score on this, how long would the drive be?
0.8 of a second. Steve can't handle decimals, though. We'll have to see what happens. Becker trying to take it outside, and the pursuit is there. He is gang tackled and lose on the play, and that will end 36 minutes of football action from Bloom Carroll High School after 3. The Indians on top of the Bulldogs, 34-0. Back with more here on Coaxial Sports High School Football Game of the Week right after this. Don't go away.
How much you got? We need to take up a collection, get this guy to keep that clock.
A 2-year technical degree from Columbus State prepares you for immediate employment.
The instructors that I'm learning from at Columbus State are more hands-on training versus an instructor just teaching out of a textbook.
It goes way beyond the textbook. It goes way beyond the classroom. And the student is actually brought into the real world through real experience.
For an affordable technical or transfer education,
Columbus State, the agriculture line.
Clutteritis. It has a tendency to spread quickly, but there is a cure. Stuff it with us in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, and North Columbus. Mini Storage takes the bother out of storing your belongings. With electronic alarm systems, lighting, and resident managers, you have secure access 24 hours a day. Our Hilliard location offers extra large units and climate control, and we have rental vans for your convenience. There comes a time when everyone needs to combat clutteritis. Stuff it with us.
Party time in Carroll, Ohio. Randy Reinhardt, Tom McDonald, Jonathan Cockrell, Steve Bassford for the 4th and final quarter of this matchup between the Indians and the Bulldogs. It has been all Canal Winchester in this contest. First downs so far through 3 quarters. Indians with 12, Bulldogs with 6. Passing yards, Canal Winchester with 35, Bloom Carroll with 76. On the ground, 233 to 30 in favor of Canal Winchester. 268 total yards to 106 for Bloom Carroll. Woodcraft on a first down play. Looking for Campbell. He's got him. Now Campbell has a catch this year for a touchdown and went 51 yards. So good to see him getting some time out there as a wideout.
Never say die, Randy. Whitcraft throws a nice spiral. Here, brace yourselves. Here comes the ball. Nice protection, and that doesn't happen all the time. And look at the touch on that ball. Great concentration on the reception.
And in your face, who's running the low camera tonight? Is that Jerry Thornton? He's a madman.
I think it was Jerry.
Trying to be the next Greg Baker and get killed along the sidelines.
Where
we
is
wish
Greg
him the very best. Greg has a clause in his contract that he doesn't have to do 2 games in 1 weekend.
Well.
Handoff inside. This is Speakman. He's had a couple of nice runs in this contest, and he's up near the sticks at around the 37-yard line.
You're right. Another underclassman that's shown signs of brilliance is B.C. Speakman. He's only a 10th grader.
And they will move the chains. First down for the Bulldogs.
All right, a first down with the 1-back set. There's really not too much debate if you're going to run the ball, who's going to get it, and that happens to be Speakman, and he picks up enough for that first down.
What a job tonight by our PA announcer, Natalie Grove.
She's
a
outstanding.
student here at Bloom Carroll doing the job.
Yes, indeed.
Our first student PA announcer we've had this year. Woodcraft looking downfield, and the pass is incomplete up around the 48-yard line, intended for Eric Fry.
Well, with Brian Smith breathing down your neck, I can see why it would be incomplete. He looked like he came in unblocked. 6'2", 190-pound senior. Rushed the pass.
We talked about Canal Winchester and what they've done this season. And, you know, Tom, in the last, 6 years, they have never been below 500. So testament to what this program has done under Mike Locke and Mike Yonnotti. They are 23-12 in conference play. Actually, let's make that in the last 6.5 years. I can take it back. They are 30-16 in league play, and there is nothing there. Packing around the 28-yard line.
No, this stellar defensive as well as offensive play of the Canal Winchester has done something I know Coach Yonnotti was concerned about, and that's taking this crowd out of the ball game.
So it'll be 3rd down and a bunch with 10:33 left to go. So we'll look at this one more time.
It was designed to be a bootleg pass, which means you can break contain and get to the corner and threaten run pass, but nothing doing. I think there's that 9th grader again in on the hit, number 87, Speakman. Let's find out which side he's on and run away. Junior.
Yeah. There's 2 Speakmans out there, one on each side. It's Speakman night here.
Boy, it is, isn't it?
It's 3rd down and a bunch. We'll call it 18. 10:05 left to go. And nothing there.
No.
And just a good job in that play to get rid of it by Whitcraft. And are they going to throw a flag? There's a flag resting back at the 14-yard line.
Could be the intentional grounding routine. Was it Roman in there that put
Yep,
the
that's what
pressure?
the call is against the Bulldogs.
Well, that's going to hurt. That is going to hurt them a lot.
One more time from ground level. Tom, take a look.
Well, you know, it's hot and cold as far as the protection.
You were right, too. It was Eric Roman
that Whitman's been afforded, but this time there was none to be had, and they're discussing the options with your Canal Winchester co-captain there, number 34, Chris Dean.
My Canal Winchester Indians?
Well,
they would be my Bulldogs and the
my
Carroll,
Canal
too.
Winchester, right.
And that carries Lawson down, too, remember. So they'll move it back. It'll be a 4th down situation, right.
Would you like to take the yards back and have them lose it down, or would you just like to have them take the yards back?
Like to kick me in the face once or kick me in the face twice, basically. So they just take the
Here's your
double kick with 10 minutes left to go, and Pistol standing back at his own 3-yard line. He has been a very busy man tonight.
Yes, nice snap,
nice
catch,
recovery. Has plenty of time and
there
kicks a long liner across the 40. Bounces at midfield. It's scooped up, and I think that was Craycraft who's wearing a couple of Bulldogs on his face.
That's right, gutsy move picking that one up, and almost got popped. Matter of fact, he did get hit right away. I think Fry popped him pretty good, but he was able to maintain control. And we have...
Just watch this catch now by Pistol as he leaps up.
He is going to be a quarterback. Look at that concentration.
So that would be Pistol from the shotgun there, right? Oh, thank you very much.
There you go.
And it'll be 1st and 10 now from the 48 for the Indians in Bulldog territory.
Or will it?
Do we have a flag along the far side of the field? Or are we just having a conference?
I think it's conference time.
And we are having a chat out there with 9:48 left to go in this contest. It is all Indians at 34-0. I think there's a flag on the far side of the field, but no one can see.
Isn't I think it's going in favor this time of the Blue Carriel squad.
Of course. And again, your referee tonight is Todd D. Baird. The umpire is Chris Leiter. Linesman is Wilbur Lanier. The line judge, Mike Reinhardt. And the back judge is Jeff Irwin. And we'll wait and get the information from Todd Baird. We've got a clip called on the Indians. It's declined. And it'll be 1st down for Canal Winchester with 9:48 left to go in this contest. Let's see who they have at quarterback. If Twiss stays in there, if they try to go one deep.
Band's still pumping away.
Oh, great job by the bands at halftime. We apologize as well for not letting you see the Canal Winchester High School Marching Band, but I made my checks this week, got all the songs, and both bands changed their halftime.
Pulled a fast one on us.
And now the Indians will burn a timeout.
Which they don't even know they burnt yet. Ah.
I've got them taking all 3 timeouts here in the second half. That's the good news. With 9:48 left to go, and it's still 34-0. Canal Winchester on top. A reminder that next week will be on Yearling Road at Whitehall Yearling High School for the showdown between Watkins Memorial and the Whitehall Rams. So check that one out next weekend here on Coaxial Sports. Of course, high school basketball season not that far away here on Coaxial Sports. A full slate of games, including the Lady Tiger Holiday Classic and the Coaxial National Hoops Classic. Plus, you'll see OSU women's basketball action if you're a hoop fan on Coaxial Sports. And a reminder, if you have a question, a comment, if you'd like to send us pizza, there's the phone number to call, 236-1209, extension 389. Give them a call during regular business hours, a question, a comment, a game you would like to see. Give them a call. We would love to hear from you. Tom, your thoughts here now on the Buckeyes' performance this afternoon against Wisconsin.
Well, I think they went into a hostile atmosphere and did an outstanding job coming away not only with a victory, but looks to me like they kept their team healthy. And, you know, you can never afford a letdown, but they've played 6 tough games in a row, and quite frankly, they're looking awesome.
And they're throwing the drink holders up right now, as provided by Coaxial Sports. Let's get one of the cheerleaders to throw one up here.
Right.
Oh, come on. They're all fired. And another new quarterback into the contest for Canal Winchester. Now running the show at quarterback is Steve Detillion. He's 5'9", 150, and a junior.
Yes, this is a credit to actually the coaching staff at Canal Winchester to substitute freely like this. It's out of hand. The game's basically over. No need to get anybody hurt. And let's let these young kids who practice their tails off all week get a chance to perform.
This is Swigert taking it around the left side across midfield. 45-40. Zach to the 35, to the 30. Back. Swigert, 20, 15, 10. Oh, he almost took it the distance.
I'll say those legs were churning. That's that outside sweep play that Canal Winchester's run effectively. And this time behind that young offensive line, Zach Swigert's able to turn the corner, accelerate through the secondary, and almost hit pay dirt.
Swigert will take the ball all the way down inside the 10-yard line. And we'll mark it officially because I want to.
Yes.
It's somewhere around the 7.
In the neighborhood, somewhere in the vicinity.
And we agree. 8:50 left to go in the 4th quarter. First and goal, Indians from the 7-yard line on the warpath one more time. Handoff goes inside. That faked out nobody. It goes to the number 30, I believe, Brian Miller. Yeah, there's a famous last name.
I'll say another new ball carrier. Canal Winchester's giving it to everybody tonight.
Remember Boyd Miller, the running back extraordinaire?
Him.
That is his younger brother, Brian Miller. Of course, we saw him earlier this season in a couple plays in the Circleville game as a wideout, and they brought him back around because of his blazing speed. But that time they sent him inside. And for a gain of maybe 1 on the play, we'll call it 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Tillion still at quarterback. And we'll pitch to Swigert. Zach deserves one if he can take it around the corner, and he dives to the goal line. He's got a touchdown. 8:02. Zach is back with a score. It is now 40-0 in favor of the Indians.
Incredible run. You're right. They faked the quick pitch last time and tried to counter out the middle. This time they did run the quick pitch. Chris Zimmerman, number 71, with the lead block. But Swigert does an excellent job of cutting to the inside and then dipping to the outside. And look at that launch. Yes, indeed.
It's like you used to do in your old football days.
Mine was more of a stumble, Randy.
Of course, in your days, they used a real pig, right? They didn't use the skin. So it is now 40-0, and we'll see who tries the extra point this time. It might be Hinton. As we said, they can go 3 deep with Brunney, Hinton, and Carpenter, and it will be Hinton this time. We know what he can do on a kickoff.
Yes, indeed. Look out. You guys better protect yourselves. I wouldn't want to block this kid's kicks.
There's a snap. The kick is up. It is a hard liner, and it is good. So it is now 41-0 with 8:01 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Tom, we talked about the fact that the Buckeyes had an interesting contest this afternoon with Wisconsin, came out on top, and a bye weekend for the Browns and the Bengals in the AFC Central.
How about that? The Browns will not lose, neither will the Bengals this weekend. I think that's probably the first time in a while that you can say that.
And we were talking about some of the scores from earlier this weekend. We touched on some of the scores in the Blue Division. How about the play of Briggs as well? We talked about Mifflin winning. Briggs got by Whetstone 44-13. The Bruins are now 3-1 in league play and 4-3 overall in the Central Catholic League. The big game of the weekend, DeSales and Watterson, and the Stallions with 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter to get by the Eagles by a score 14-0. So DeSales remains undefeated at 7-0. The Eagles dip to 5-2.
I know you're probably going to get to it, but one of the most impressive things I noticed was the victory by Dublin Scioto last night over Upper Arlington.
Wow.
And that was out of hand early. It was like 28-0 in the first quarter, so even the score was not indicative of the performance. And Dublin Scioto surprising me somewhat from the standpoint of they seem to have been able to remain healthy. And it's a credit to their team to maybe they don't practice as hard against each other, because you know what I'm saying, they are awesome, and they're probably one of the 2 top teams in Central Ohio.
Now Brunney, who normally kicks the extra points and the field goals, now gets the chance to kick off after Hinton kicked the extra point. We're staying on top of things for you. We never say die. And look at this boot.
Jeez.
And the 2 deep men collide. Becker will pick it up at the 5 to the 10, up across the 15, and he is brought down somewhere around the vicinity of the 20-yard line with 7:52 left to go. Some more scores. You were talking about the score by Dublin Scioto. They got by Upper Arlington 63-37, so 100 points in that game. It was 35-21 at the break. The team from Dublin Scioto, the Irish, had 3 guys going over 100 yards rushing in that contest, and Goings had something like 260 yards in that game.
But where in the heck does Canal Winchester get all these kickers? I coached Division I for 15 years and never had that many
one,
kickers
right?
that could kick. Well, I've had a few, but never on the same team that could kick them in the end zone.
New quarterback, and there it is, Pistol, who we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
He's now running the show at quarterback for the Bulldogs as they advance the ball from the 23 up to the 30-yard line.
It's a good move as well. Bloom Carroll to get some of those young kids in and see what they can do.
So we'll call it 2nd down and 3 from the 30. 7:20 and ticking. 41-0. Canal Winchester on top. Wide to the bottom of the formation now for the Bulldogs will be Ryan Campbell. Now he moves to the top.
I was going to say, be careful.
Speakman on the carry. BC must stand for Bloom Carroll, right? Out across the 35 to around the 37-yard line.
Yep, the ball carrier is what it stands for, Randy.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
And that'll be enough for a first down for the Bulldogs. As you look at part of the Bloom Carroll High School marching band, and what a performance they put on at the break tonight.
Yes, indeed. They're still loyal to that football team. That's the way bands should be.
Under Mr. Roach and his fine squad that handle the band here at Bloom Carroll High School. Again, guess who? Speakman on the carry up across the 40 to the 45 and maybe 46-yard line.
You're right. He had a couple nice blocks. A couple of those linemen out there performing would happen to be number 64. I'm sorry, 71, Chris Zimmerman. Well,
maybe Tim Bolin?
Yes, and also Chris Snoke.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3 from the 45-yard line. Pistol's handoff inside goes nowhere on the play to number 21. That is Gabe Taylor.
Yeah, look who's still in there on defense. I think Canal Winchester wants to keep that shutout alive. Brian Smith.
And my notes are flying all over the place, but we don't need them anymore because, quite honestly, we've used them all in this contest anymore. And Tom and I will start singing your favorite songs in the next 2 minutes. 41-0 with 5:48 left to go. 3rd down, we'll call it 3 now for the Bulldogs. Does Pistol put it up, or do they keep it on the ground?
I think we keep it right on that ground.
It is Speakman. He's got an opening across midfield down to the 47-yard line. 1st down, Bulldogs. They're barking here late in this contest.
We're mounting a drive. Ben Bidler in on the stop, but not after a substantial gain.
Speakman has impressed me with his play off the bench tonight, especially here in the second half of the Bulldogs.
Very true, and let's look at it coming right at you. Nice cross blocking and running low to the ground. Speakman brought down on the play.
Still waiting for Speakman to tackle Speakman in this contest. 1st and 10 from the 47, 5:20 left to go. Pistol again to BC. He is a workhorse, and look at him. Across the 40, down to the 38. A hero in the making here in BC.
Very
Speakman.
methodical drive. It looks like it's probably too little, too late, but it's something to build on. Nice offensive line surge. And to move this. Nope, 2nd and short.
I'm doing my tomahawk chop here.
What? Yes, indeed.
Gain of 8. We'll call it 2nd and 2. 4:50 left to go. Mark the ball at the 38-yard line. Justin Vermillion is wide to the bottom of the formation. Pistol is creamed back around the 43-yard line is where they'll mark the stoppage of his forward progress. Hit made on the play by number 60, Chris Hager.
They weren't successful that time, but Phil Miller is a fullback that's been doing a nice job, number 44, blocking. This time it was a fake to Miller on the option. Didn't fool anybody, especially not Chris
Hager.
There
you go. He's had a back injury and a rib injury so far this season, but he's hanging in there and hanging tough for the Indians. And again, can't put in any more players right now.
in there. No, you really can't.
It is now a 3rd down and 6. 4 minutes left to go in this contest. Pistol is going to throw. He's looking downfield. And the pass is incomplete. Looking on the play for number 10, and that is Chad Roth, would be my guess.
I think you're right. You know, Pistol has to roll out to his right, which in most cases is good for a quarterback because they're usually right-handed. But not only is Pistol left-footed, he's also
left-handed.
Left-handed.
Very good. 5'10", 139, and a sophomore is Joey Pistol. So again, they should also run the run and shoot with Pistol, right? 4th down and 6, and they'll go for it.
Bang out of your comment.
Thank you. Speakman. And he gets down to around the 37-yard line, very close to the sticks, and hey, he might have picked up the 1st down on 4th down.
Jennings,
he's got it, 1st down.
Jennings block, yeah, move those sticks after that initial. Wow, you got him going, buddy. What are we talking here? Still over 3 minutes left. You'll see on the replay.
There's a lifetime left.
Jennings, among others, lead blocking. And there's the ball carrier, Speakman, Miller. Here he comes again.
1st and 10. Pistol picks it up on a hop. Gets it across the 35 down to the 34.
Yes, indeed.
So a short gain on the play to advance it down to the 34-yard line. We'll call it maybe actually almost 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 7 with 3:14 left to go. It has been all Canal Winchester. They were up 28-0 at the break. Had a couple touchdowns here in the second half and lead by a score of 41-0.
Pistol lost the trigger on that one.
Okay, enough of it. Vermillion wide to the top, Campbell to the bottom. Handoff goes inside to the man that you were talking about, the blocking fullback, who this time gets to carry the ball. That is number 44, Phil Miller, 6'2", 175, and a sophomore.
And I'm glad Miller got to carry it, too, because he's been unselfish blocking recently all along on this drive.
And everybody's seeing some playing time now for both squads in this contest.